All right. Hey.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, are we live?
That's not right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're live now.
That's not. That's
Holy.
live now. Look at that.
Yeah,
What a great way to start.
bit of
I
What a
love
great way to
Uh-oh.
start. Uh-oh.
it's all working now.
Oh, no.
What a way to instill confidence.
Oh, no.
What a way
Most
to-
excellent. Yeah. Uh-oh, yeah.
And then Ableton Live crashed first thing.
Yeah. Uh-oh, yeah.
And then Ableton Live.
Is it sounding okay, you guys? Double check. Just let us know.
Can
real
you guys hear the echo on your side?
quick. No, I can't hear anything. So that's why I'm hoping it's working.
I can hear Liz in this here.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
I love
my-
that.
Oh, you have a volume on your extension cord if you're using
I
that
know, he
extension.
does.
Do I?
Yeah,
Is
you do. I
mine
turned
all the way up?
turned it up for you. Yeah.
Is mine all the way up? All the way
Yeah.
up?
Pretend
I want more.
pretend none of this is happening.
You should not pretend. I want you
Oh,
to know
no
how
echo.
organic
Wonderful.
it is.
Thank you, Marika.
I want
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Marika.
I need more snap.
Okay.
Everyone should have snacks. I agree.
Yeah. So
Jesse's
welcome, everyone. Yeah. So
Oh, hey, everybody. What's up?
we have a lot of people here. I see Corey. I see Megan. I see
Hi.
Marika, Dimitri, Evan. Wonderful.
Whoa.
It reminds me of Hobo Kelly. Old people will get that reference. And I see Marika.
So Larry is a teacher at Lark Camp, and this year at Lark was my first year at Lark, and it was a pretty life-changing experience. And Larry was one of the teachers there, contributing to changing my life.
Marika's getting an echo. I don't know if that's a thing everyone else is getting.
We have
but
echo.
Yeah.
All right.
Hang tight, guys.
Echo,
Just hang with us
echo.
for a second here. Everyone
Hey, everybody. We are probably going to have to restart Ableton occasionally throughout this process.
It's magical.
It's-
It's a magical time.
The echo's already back.
Oh, wow. It's just doing good stuff. Ableton.
The echo's
Hey,
already back.
we're talking to you.
Yeah.
Ableton Live. Can you not? Thanks.
Hear it at all. in mine.
Hello.
You
Test.
don't hear it over there?
No, no.
Okay.
Well, this is going well.
I love it. It's really good. Everybody in the chat though, if you guys, is it sounding okay to you? As long as it sounds good to you, then we're okay. That's really what matters. We care about you more, really.
God, you're such an excellent hostess.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you didn't
I'm going
bring-
to
I
try
put a lot of
one
effort into
thing.
being this.
you didn't bring
Test.
the plushie.
I did well.
Oh,
were a
I
lot
think
of things
I think I just killed the echo.
Yeah.
Test. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Most excellent.
the result of what I just changed means we can't play you any YouTube videos. But you're already watching one, so one is all you get.
That's all. That's all there is.
One, you get
Tough.
one. You'll get one, and you'll like it. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I was talking about what a wonderful teacher Larry Klein is, and yeah, I hung out in the woods for 10 days. How long is Lark?
Just about that.
Just about 10 days.
Yeah.
And sat in a tent, and I listened to Larry play oud, and it was magical and amazing. And hopefully you guys get to listen to Larry
follow that.
play some oud and teach some oud, and it'll be just as magical and amazing for you guys. How you doing, Larry?
I was gonna say, everybody should tell
After
Larry
that
how magical
After
he
that
is.
introduction,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm doing. How do I follow that? I'm just an amateur musician.
Yeah, as
Um,
long as you don't crash Ableton Live over and over again, I think you'll do better than I.
I'll do my
I'm
best.
just gonna do that.
I'll
I'm
do my
just that's
best.
all I'm gonna
Yeah.
do.
Well, I came to Lark as a teacher this year. It was bittersweet. I wasn't planning to be a teacher. Sinan Erdemsol was supposed to come from Turkey, as he has done for 20 years, and teach the Turkish classical music class, but he had trouble at the border getting in. A long story. Horrible outcome. He wasn't allowed to come, but they asked me to teach. So there's the bittersweet. I got to teach, but I was hoping to be a student. Nevertheless, I had spent a lot of years in Turkey. I had studied Turkish music and Arab music and the oud. It's been almost 30 years now. But
Is Ableton Live echoing again?
I
Hello,
can't
hello,
tell.
hello,
I
hello.
don't think so. You hearing an echo?
I
You're hearing an
certainly
echo.
am.
I don't know. It depends. Guys, is it how bad is the echo? Is it that bad? Do we need to keep redoing it? If we don't, we won't. Oh, it's clipping. Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah, the
that is
echoes like
bad.
that.
Interesting. Okay. Well.
perhaps soothing sounds for the
And we're back. Can everyone hear us
This
now?
one's gonna be delayed from that.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're gonna have to move off Ableton. There's
Okay.
yeah, there's no. This is untenable.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that for us.
All right.
All right then.
All right, are we good?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll be fine for a
All
minute.
right.
We'll be fine for a minute.
Yeah. Tim is asking if it's a monitor loop. Under the hood, to get Ableton Live and OBS Studio to talk to each other, I have a few different instances of something called Black Hole, which is basically audio routing. It creates a virtual microphone and a virtual speaker. So you can run the output of one program into Black Hole and treat it as a microphone in another program. And Black Hole's glitching. Maybe I should just move off Black Hole.
I have a question. Is it something we have to do right now?
I mean, if they don't mind us restarting Ableton over.
I can't hear anything, so I have no idea what you're hearing.
Oh, that's your headphones. You can hear me, Larry, right? In your headphones?
Not in the headphones, no.
Oh.
Yeah. This is just a prop. It's a prop to make
It's
you
just
look
like,
technical.
yeah, it looks really
Well,
cool,
I'm in
doesn't
a
it?
studio.
We'll leave the camera rolling so they
Yeah.
can appreciate the chaos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, that's. You want it?
maybe a song.
Here, help.
Is it still glitching?
How about now? How about now?
Oops.
Test, test, test.
Nope.
Test, test, test.
Nope.
Test, test, test.
They worked last time we used them.
Okay. We'll spare them the chaos. And we're back.
Ding, 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 ding,
We were throwing cables across the room for each
It was
other.
hazardous.
It was hazardous.
It was.
We're back. We found a combination of things that work.
Yeah. It's doing great.
Okay. And Larry, you were saying that it was bittersweet.
It was bittersweet. Yes. I had spent a bunch of years outside of the country, in part due to Lark. Let's take the thread back to Lark a little bit and how it can be life-changing.
Yeah.
Because we also have a special guest here today who will be introduced in a bit from Lark Camp. It was about 30 years ago when I was first introduced to Lark Camp. My wife and I at the time had gone up to Mendocino with the dog. Make a long story short, we came across the Lark store. I was playing rock music. My background is really in rock bands. I'm from Los Angeles. But we went in to the Lark store on a lark, I guess, on a whim. Haha, see how I worked that in? And found out about Lark Camp. Went to the camp that summer for a half camp. Was introduced to all this different types of music that, as a rock musician, I had not really been introduced to. Hungarian music and music from the Middle East and from Japan and from here and there and the British Isles. And it was very life-changing. Went back to Lark every year for many years before ultimately leaving the country, in part due to Lark and things I had learned at Lark, which includes the oud. So my experience with Lark goes back about 30 years now. Hard to say that in a way because I feel like
Wow.
I'm still new to everything, and yet I'm starting to be considered an old-timer. So, yeah, but it's still all new and fresh in my mind to some degree. And these people, Jesse, it was his first year, and it was my first year back. So coming back to Lark after so many years, I think it had been 10 years. I came to visit once while I was living in Turkey. But coming back and meeting Jesse, I had met Liz the year before, in part because I play music in another group of people that I met through Lark. So I met Liz, and I get the pleasure to play with Liz. Not enough, but more than I used to, so life is good.
Okay, we get to play on Sunday. Are you coming on
We
Sunday?
do, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be going. Yeah, we get to play. We might play
What's
little
the Sunday jam session?
That's Bruno's.
Yeah,
Oh.
a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Dancing for
We
an
do
upcoming
on top of-
festival.
So not something we can invite everyone in chat to.
We're always looking for dancers and musicians.
Yeah, we need dancers.
Yeah.
You want to do Morris dance, everyone? You want to do drunk English country dancing?
Hey,
Anybody?
chat, how do you feel about Morris dancing?
I'm very curious as he cracks open a beer. That is perfect, actually. That
It
is
was the
really-
moment. I was looking for my window.
That
Strawberry
is
Creek
true.
Park, Berkeley,
Yeah.
12 o'clock, Sunday.
Actually,
Be there, bring your bells.
What we can invite people to is the Marin Fair. Are you coming to the Marin Fair?
I will be there, yeah.
The Marin Celtic Fair that's happening soon, beginning of
Mid-May.
May. Yeah. The Marin Celtic Fair is happening.
Yeah.
We'll be there playing music.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Sellin is an old-time Morris dancer.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, Mark's a dancer.
Mark, are you the father of
Sticks and bells and
Jeanette
hankies.
and Evan?
you don't know Mark? You need meet Mark.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Mark directed my show at Dickens.
Mark, you raised 3 of my favorite people in the world. Your kids are phenomenal, each and every one of them.
All the rest of you have kids and nope.
The rest of your kids suck.
Just only Mark's kids.
Well, shall we get to it? Larry, do you still tune your low string on your oud down to
I
the
do.
A string of a bass?
I do. Ouds have different tunings that they can be approached with. For anybody who's online, I don't know who's here, but I invited people. I think I've got childhood friends who might be tuning in. This is the oud. It means wood in Arabic. They can be tuned in different ways. What Jesse's asking me, do I tune my low string really bassy? And the answer is yes. Much bassier. Most ouds would be tuned here. There. You can hear that. But mine is down there. I like that. Because in Turkish music, there's a
Savage.
makam
So good.
that likes that note. It's a little bit daunting sometimes because I play a lot in the key of E, and I won't get into all that right now, but I have to finger this note instead of simply playing it open. That's a disadvantage, but the advantage is I can get really deep and bassy when I want.
A note that you'd expect to be open is no longer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, Megan was asking, do you have any mnemonics for remembering oud tuning?
No.
No. Just remember it.
No.
Write a mnemonic that doubles every word that the strings are doubled.
Well,
so it's like
there's different tunings of the oud too.
Cat goes down alleys. And then what do you tune your next?
Is it tuned that way? Is it tuned? I have no idea how Noon is tuned, actually. So
from high to the high strings are in fourths.
They are.
Liz is sharp. She just recognized the order of sharps and the circle of fifths.
And mine are completely in fourths. I don't have anything that's any exceptions. Like on some ouds, they'll tune where these are the same note. Those as well. Sorry. This will be drones. So there's different ways to tune it. So mnemonic for it depends how you're tuning your oud.
Yeah.
To some degree. Like, what you're comfortable
And then
with.
there's Turkish and Arabic tuning, which are different.
Yes. Yeah.
The melody strings. And get this, guys. Me and Larry were hanging out, and we figured out.
No.
We figured out
Never
the
happened.
coolest trick if you're a fretless bass player. We held an oud up to a fretless bass, and the scale length of the oud matched up with 6th fret on a bass. And if you capo a bass a fret lower than that, it's the same notes as an Arabic tuned oud. And a fret higher than that, it's the same notes as a Turkish tuned oud. So you can capo a fretless bass and play basically, I think it's the playing strings of an oud an octave down, but you can play in either tuning easily with the same scale length. So bass players, fretless bass players out there, you could be practicing along with everything Larry does today.
Bass oud players.
That's kind of cool. I'll take that.
Yep.
Megan also asked, how guitar-like is your oud as far as tuning is concerned?
Well, on the guitar, you've got that pesky B string, right, where it's tuned in a third.
The dumb one.
Right, the dumb one that's tuned in a third.
Makes everything stupid.
So if you're familiar with, I don't know how well you can see this, but if you're thinking of a C on a guitar.
Is it diagram time? It might be time for our first diagram.
Maybe the first diagram. I just want to explain that so you can play a chord like a C on the oud. I can't play it very well. You really have to have good intonation. But it's not exactly guitar-like. It's guitar-like, but not as much as you would hope if you're a guitar player.
All right. Are you guys ready for the next camera angle where I track all three of our faces?
Uh-oh.
It's very exciting. Watch.
What?
Ooh, we can move around.
Uh-oh.
See, look.
It doesn't see me.
You just got to move. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
It's exciting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't learn this in Macomb class.
How did he do that?
Jesse spent a lot of time doing this. That's how it happens.
Okay, so let's just talk about fourths for a second. The order of fourths spells out the word bead and then greatest common factor. So
Bead gach.
yeah. So B, whoa. B, E, A, D, G, C, F.
There you go. Hey.
I picked the one spot. All right, so there's B, E, A, D, G, C, F. It's actually probably useful for the people following along to understand how oud works a little bit. It'll give them some insight into what we're doing. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay.
You're good.
You're good. So there's a bass, E, A, D, G. It's also the deep four of a guitar, right? Guitar has two strings that are tuned strangely, and that's that B and E string, but those are still fourth from each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's both guitar and bass right there. Oud can be the main melody strings can be tuned in those 4/4. A, D, G, C. Or you can tune that A up a whole step and you end up with B, E, A, D. And how are your melody strings tuned today?
Turkish tuning.
Turkish tuning?
B-E-A-D, yeah.
Yeah. So you're B, E, A, D.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got the two bass strings are just kind of a free for all, whatever roots or range you find most useful. Right?
Yes.
That bass string could be D and G, it could be C and G, it could be
Mhm.
C and F.
So your friendly keys, I guess what are your friendly keys that you
Well,
like to play in most?
because I'm tuned up a step where we would normally think, like when we're playing in D. If this were an Arabic tuned oud, we were playing in D. This is up a step, so
So not that one.
Yeah.
That one's not friendly.
yeah. So I can play in B, A really well.
And it also depends on the maqam.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of modulating, but the ones that have drone strings, right? Like the
Mhm.
ones where I can drone on. If you look at the chart there.
Yeah.
You know.
So Turkish, I'm clarifying for somebody. So Turkish is the red one, Arabic is the purple one. If we're looking at this, is that right?
Look at the blue one.
Sorry, I'm looking
Yeah,
at what it's
Yeah,
asking.
currently Turkish is BEAD. That B is up a whole step from A. So yeah, red is Turkish and purple is Arabic. And so let me kind of draw this out. Let me draw this out graphically here. So let's say that these are fourths. So B, E, A, D. If I can draw that. All right, and those are your melody strings. So you'll see people double the E and the A, right? Oh yeah, it's weird for me because I usually play ADGC is why. So you'll see E and A doubling the middle two strings an octave down. You'll see that, right? And you'll see in that tuning you're in, what other ones will you see? D?
Yeah, I know.
D.
It's hard math. Here's how it goes.
So okay, if you're
I
not
think-
tuned,
yeah.
if you're not tuned
Yeah.
to those, right? Is there
Yeah.
another low drone you would have?
Yeah, you tune this E right here all the way down to an A.
Yeah, listen. So listen. Yeah.
super low. And then your next string,
But that would be a B because I'm tuned up a step,
oh, got it.
right? So
Oh,
See?
I
B,
see.
B, yeah.
You're treating it like a transposing instrument. You're calling that
Yeah,
an
everything's-
A. Oh, beautiful. Well, let's get to it. Let me
Yeah.
pass the reins back off to you. Now that people kind of know how tuning works, shall we go to this first diagram?
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about maqam.
Yeah.
And again, I think there's people here who know what maqam is, and there could be people here that have no idea what maqam is. Loosely, you would translate it to a scale in Western music terms, but it's really more than a scale, because in a scale, you think of what notes go in that scale. And maqam is a little more flexible than that. It's broken down in different ways where many different notes can go into a given scale, right? Or maqam. The title of this tonight was going to be something about introduction to Middle Eastern maqam. Well, it's a really wide topic because there's Arab music, and there's Turkish music, and there's Afghan music and Iranian music, and they're not all the same. They're very different. I think it was last week, I tuned into the show, and I think, Jesse, or the week before, talking about Indian music and how it fit into everything. And we were talking, I think Stereosity was here, and you were doing T-highs and things like that. But we were talking about Indian music, and it's similar in a way. All the music from the East, they have similarities and sometimes really big differences. So Makam is a really big topic. It overlaps with to some degree Iranian music, which would be different, but there are some similarities. There's microtones in Iranian music that Western music doesn't have. Indian music as well.
So with this instrument, you're not dealing with microtones on this, or are you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the oud is set up for it. If you look at it, there are no frets. So like a violin, right? I'm not limited to any tone.
Fun.
Right? Guitars have frets, which limits the tones. It makes it much more accurate. You don't have to put your finger. You can put your finger anywhere between a narrow field, and you're going to get the same note on a guitar. It's very easy to play in that regard. But ouds and violins and fretless instruments, you have to be careful. But yes, that you can play. Advantage, you can play any tone on it. Disadvantage, any tone can be played on it, even the ones you're not supposed to play at any given time.
I like to talk about fretless as being a stick shift. You have a lot more control over how it works, but if you don't know how to wield that control, it can go south really quick.
It can get ugly.
So we're thinking about okay. So we're thinking about 12-tone Western music, right? And then we want to merge that thinking into...
I hate to interrupt you. Will you talk a little closer to the mic?
Yes, I can talk right there.
There you go.
Okay, so we're talking about 12-tone Western theory, which is what a lot of us are used to relating things to. How can I get out of that and get into this?
Okay. You can feel it, first of all.
Just feel it.
Well, I mean, you can hear it. Like, if you're not a musician, you will hear it when you're not in that. Let me give you an example. And again, intonation is important on the oud, but if I were to play something major-ish that our ears hear, Western, right? Or minor. Microtone. That's the quarter tone of more Arabic or Arab music. Quarter tone. So you can hear that. To the Westerner, the first time you hear it, it's probably shocking. It was a bit shocking to me when I first started hearing it after not hearing it my whole life. If you grow up in the culture, it's just ingrained in you. It's what you know. And living in Turkey for so long and hearing microtones every day, even the call to prayer, which happens many times. You're hearing microtones. It's Makam music.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. That's what one of them would sound like. Here, if we're thinking a minor, right? Minor third. Second. Minor second. In between, it's a quarter tone. It's a microtone.
Would you call it like a quarter two? What would you call it?
It's halfway between step and a half.
Right, but what do you call it?
Well,
is it? May I draw it?
Yes. Yeah, charts are good in this regard. That's how I visualize. I was giving Jesse a bit of a hard time. He's very mathematical. Jesse is a mathematical genius. He's a math nerd guy. He knows all about that stuff, and that's all great.
Dimitri is in chat right now, so don't talk me up too much.
All right,
guy is.
Dimitri's also a math wizard, though.
And it's great. It's great. All of this stuff can be broken down into mathematics, and the square root of this, and the sine of that, and the cosine of this, plus the arc sine of that, and all of that. But it's easier for me to visualize and draw charts, even in my head when I'm playing this stuff. I'm not a great reader. I can use reading music as a crutch. I'm not trained classically at all. I'm a folk musician who is a little bit dangerous by learning a bit of classical music, but I don't know a lot about classical Turkish music, like a classical Turkish musician. I know a little bit about a lot of things as far as this music goes. But
I feel like
but
that.
yeah, charts are really good. Here we go.
So,
Yeah, let's check it out.
so can we agree that that is the spacing of a minor third? I have 1, 2, 3 half steps there.
I will
right?
agree to that.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Stipulated.
I suppose.
So Liz,
Yeah.
right? In between those, you'd have a major second and a minor second, right?
Yep.
So here's your 2. And there's
It's like, don't mess me up.
so there's your major second or your minor second, right?
Mhm.
And those are half steps. But half of a half step, I'm actually wishing I had written these ones. Ooh, better. Half of a half is a quarter, right?
Yeah.
So if we were to play the note that is dead center in between those 2 twos.
What's that one?
It's that one.
It's not as low as a minor second, right? It's
Which
not
is that one.
Right.
Yeah, it's not as low and dark as that, and it's not as high as the major second, right? It's in between them.
But if I'm stuck on labeling. Sorry, I'm trying to figure
It would
out.
be the neutral second.
That's the neutral.
Actually,
I wanna do that.
It can be 3 different things. It can be acting as the major second down a comma, and that is the microtone in between those. It can be acting as the minor second up a comma.
Mhm.
And both of those are Turkish theory. Or Arabic theory generally uses 24 equal and puts it dead center. And I think Persian music puts it a little flat of dead center.
So
that microtone has a lot of different interpretations based on the context.
what are your thoughts about it, Larry?
My thoughts are, I just want to point this out. I'm happy that Jesse knows this about Persian music. If you go, here's my warning, kids, about technology and Chat
use
GPT.
computers.
No, use it, but always question the results. I asked it to compare the Persian shor, like the makam shor, with the Arabic bayati, which is like the Turkish ushak. They all have that neutral second.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT came back and said, oh, that's a great question. They always like to tell you your questions are great, right?
Make it feel good.
And then it told me they were the same. They said, sure, the neutral second in Persian, sure, and the neutral second in Arab bayati are the same. And so I said, are you sure it's not lower? I couldn't have actually led it like that. It says, oh, good ear. It turns out that, yes, it is lowered a lot of times, but it's lowered a lot even when it's not shown to be lowered. The musicians will just lower it even when it's not like indicated in the music to be lowered.
Yeah.
But it's important to know when I'm playing Persian, it's not important to anybody but me, perhaps, or other people on the stage who are trying to intonate together. But if we're playing Majnun Nabudom, which is a Persian song, the second in that is much lower than we're playing if we're playing Arabic music or Turkish music.
And those are just considered
Well, yeah.
different makams then?
Well, it's not a different makam. It's a different way that the Persians look at that interval, right? If I'm
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
like, here's what it sounds like, right? Here's an Arabic music second. There. That would be Bayati would be the makam loosely. Here it is shor in Persian music. Instead of it's.
And those are 2 different tones.
There are 2 different tones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear 2 commas. 3
I can
commas
hear those
easily.
too,
2
yeah.
commas easily. 1 comma can be hard to hear, right? But the Turkish one, I think Jesse alluded to it, they're 1 comma. If you're playing in something called Rost, and hopefully we'll get to more charts, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but the Rost second or third, here would be major. There. It's very...
And
it's
if
like
you do play that Pythagorean third, that's Charga.
Yeah.
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 That's become Charga.
It's higher than the Arab second. It's higher than the Persian one. So when you first learn Maqam, when I first learned it, I had no idea. I was just happy, right? Oh my gosh, there's this tone, this neutral second. And then later when you dig into it and you start learning other musics, if you go the route I did and get involved in this music and that music, and you realize they're all different. Like,
and the same thing happens in Western music. Like if you listen to Mississippi Delta blues, the minor third is high of a minor third. It's like the microtone in between the minor and major third. And the minor seventh is like the septimal. It's like the one from the overtone series that's way flat of a minor second. So even though you've got a minor seventh and a minor third that should be a perfect fourth apart from each other, they're like closer to a tritone apart from each other. So there's all this stuff that is microtonal that happens in our lives, but we reduce things to this 12-tone system.
Hey, Jesse, can we hear that real quick? What you're talking about? I mean, I've heard you play it, so I think it's helpful to hear something that's put in a different system that's the same system.
Sure, I could do it on that 31 equal temper guitar. Let me wrap this thought up, hand it off to Larry. I'll tune the guitar while he keeps teaching, and then I'll play that. But yeah, so the way that we're comfortable just being like, oh, it's a guitarist, a beginning guitarist will pick up a guitar and play the pentatonic scale and bend that fourth up to like that dirty bent tritone, and they're not going up to the equal tempered tritone. They're going up, like up a quarter step. They're going where their ears tell them. And I think you have to approach all music that same way, right? Play what it sounds like. Learn what it sounds like.
Just play what it sounds like.
Learn what it sounds like and play that. Yeah. Don't think about it too much unless you want to. And I like to, but not everyone does. You don't have to. And take it away, Larry. I'm going to grab a guitar.
Oh my goodness! No, we got no charts on the screen for me to talk.
Oh no.
I can speak a little bit about philosophy.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we got a philosopher here too, Socrates. Philosophy of right or wrong in classical music,
or right or wrong in like any music.
Right, in any music, because David and I have been friends long enough. We knew a gentleman named Suleiman Feldhaus, who was one of my teachers. Met him at Lark Camp. May he rest in peace, and his memory be a blessing upon others. He had learned to play Turkish music and different types of music, and also had a rock, 60s psychedelic rock background. He merged everything together, had a very unique way of approaching the instruments. And I had a lot of respect for the notes that guy could get out of any instrument that he played. But he did not follow any rules. He was at that one extreme. I've also had the pleasure of playing or listening to musicians who are very, very technically competent and good in their fields, classically trained, know all of the moves they're supposed to do, right? Yeah. It would take people their whole life sometimes to reach that sort of level. And actually getting back to the Indian music thing, I studied a little bit at Ali Akbar Khan, very little, couple of years, right? Just a couple of years before he passed away. But I remember these other Americans who might have been there for 20, 30 years, just studying this music and trying to get good at it and dedicating their lives to understanding it at that level where they wanted to feel competent. And some music requires that sort of dedication, and you'll never get there. Just like with anything in life, you want to get good at, right? So I've always approached it as I like to know how things are supposed to go. But like Jesse said, what sounds good, really, ultimately, when you're playing, or if we're taking taksim, which for those who might not know is soloing, when you're soloing in Middle Eastern music and playing these maqam, which go here and they go there are specific rules that you should follow, that people will tell you should follow. And sometimes those rules are there because they sound good. They're there because they actually sound really good. And people say, hey, that sounds good. We should codify that into this. And then there's some that seem really arbitrary, right? That other things also sound good, at least to my Western ear. So, I've learned it to some level, but when I'm playing with people, especially here in the States, I don't worry about it so much. Like if I'm modulating or doing Seir, which is going from one maqam to another maqam in the course of a solo, I'll play what sounds good, what I know. I won't worry too much about if I'm getting that one comma right, because at one level, really important that you get that one comma right and you approach it with the glissando from the top this way, right? Yeah. I didn't grow up in Turkey. I've listened to a lot of Turkish music, so I can emulate some things, but that's why I missed having Sinan in class. It was bittersweet for me. I can impart a lot of information at a certain level, but a really classically trained musician, they just keep on giving. They're just like jewels.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And
I digress.
And what were you saying about like playing this exact comma or whatever? A lot of the most proficient people playing different genres of music aren't thinking about it technically like that. A lot of times the theory is written after the fact as a means of explaining what experts are doing. Right?
Well, I'm going to take that thought and bring it back to the Turkish music, and that before World War I, it wasn't written down. It wasn't broken into these tetrachords and pentachords, which we don't have charts up yet, but things in Turkish music, it's broken into little 4-note and 5-note chunks. It wasn't thought of that way. They were learning things called cheshnis.
I've been trying to remember that word for
Cheshni
days.
means like spice.
Yeah.
In Turkish.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
And it's an oral tradition.
They boil down to like licks, basically. The appropriate riffs to play.
like in who's I don't know a lot of Cheshni, but if you're thinking about this sort of motion. Sorry. My oud has gone a little bit out of tune in this room.
Would you like a tuning break?
We might appreciate one if I'm supposed to actually play something that sounds decent.
Yeah. Let me show them the Mississippi Delta septimal minor seventh.
Yeah, do
and
it.
Then,
Can you turn this off?
I don't know. I don't think we can.
We'll do a standby real quick after this. So this guitar is split into 31 notes per octave. And a lot of the frets come very close to what 12 does. So like, can we hear that?
Yeah.
Sounds fine. But it's what you would do on a fretted guitar when you're holding a slide in your hand. I actually have frets for you play that 7. Not the one I was just playing. And that 3rd. So you've got a minor 7th and a minor 3rd that with each other, they should make a perfect 4th like this, but they make a tritone. And all that was done with the guitar side, and all of it was extremely microtonal, right? But like, you just play it, you just listen to it until you understand what it does in your ears. And I remember having that moment, that neutral second that you're talking about, Larry. I remember having that moment where it popped in my ears. It stopped sounding like a wrong note. I would listen and I would listen, and it sounded like a wrong note, and it sounded like a wrong note, and then it sounded like a blue note. I was like, oh, it's like the quarter step that I get to play when I'm playing the blues scale. Like this. That tritone, it's not a clean tritone. Like, that's a quarter step, and it's supposed to be. It doesn't sound right as a half step. And listening to Macam music, and all of a sudden that neutral second magically turning into a blue note in my ears, and I was like, I get new notes. I get new notes I never had before. It's incredible. After how many years have I been playing music, I get new notes? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Like, cause we were hanging out a while back, and cause I'm very, very new to a lot of this music, and it's really neat to learn more stuff about things all over the world. Just the fact that, like, our scale system, the Western scale system, is a scale system that, like, if you haven't done a lot of world music, you don't have. That was the one, and we just did that for forever, right? And I had that moment that Jesse's talking about where we were playing around with something and you were showing me some things, and I heard that weird quarter tone in there as a note.
Yeah,
and it rocks. It's so cool.
That's right. I put a saz in Liz's hand, a long neck.
It's over
baglama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could hear it. You were just playing the frets, right? You were playing around with the frets, and to me, as a listener, those quarter tones sounded like a wrong note until they started sounding like a right note to you. Mm-hmm. And I could hear when you were hearing them somehow. Does that make sense?
It was super cool.
Like, the moment they clicked in your ears and you were like laying into them, I was like, yeah, those are right notes now. It was incredible. It was great.
It rocks. It's so fun. It's so cool.
Let's see.
Do you need to tune Larry? Do you want to take a second?
No. I think I'm okay.
Okay?
I can introduce his concept and then talk about it a bit more, because I think it's interesting about Chechny's.
Yeah. Let's
Turkish
talk about
was
that.
actually introduced, but they're just little phrases, little motifs that a makam should have in order to be presented as that makam, and they can be really simple. They can be 5 notes, 10 notes with certain stopping points and starting points. Simple as that. To let you know that you're in that makam. Or there's that's Sega. But these Chechnys would be taught at the foot of a master. And mashk, there'd be exercises, and they would just do them and repeat them until they sounded right. Kind of like if you studied at Ali Akbar Khan, Indian music. Like, you sit at the foot of the master and they play things and you repeat them until they sound right. And then you move on. And after you collect the body of these Chechnys that you need, you can present these dishes. Because if you think about them as spices, your dish can either be palatable or it can have some spice that doesn't taste good and it's not palatable. And so there's these kind of rules that were developed, but it wasn't codified like we think about it now in these where musicologists came and said, how do we make this make sense? And they broke it into these 4-note and 5-note little building blocks.
And that was just a way of grouping.
Ajanas. Am I saying that right? Jints?
Yeah.
Ajanas?
Yes.
That's just a way of grouping things together.
It's a way of grouping together, and that's how I learned it. I didn't learn it at the foot of a master, trying to memorize all these things. Persian music, it's the same thing. You memorize these motions. There's intervals, makam, if you will. Then you kind of memorize the patterns, how they go, if you will, and you memorize a lot of them. And then you are allowed to improvise within those rules, right?
Right.
It's beer time.
Oh, can that happen all the time? That's so exciting.
Would anyone else? Would you like one? Yeah.
Yeah. So later on, can we bring up one of those charts?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's bring up that first one.
There we go.
This is something I got from my first oud teacher, who was a canoon player. May she rest in peace, Mimi Spencer. After going to Lark the first year, I bought an octave mandolin. I hadn't come across Middle Eastern music yet. I didn't know where I fit in. Learned a little Irish music, and I think the second year came across a bunch of people playing Middle Eastern music, and that year after camp, I bought myself an oud, started playing North African music with a maestro named Omar Aitvamoun, the Andalus classical stuff, and learning more about that and learning about Turkish music in camp. I decided I needed to get an oud teacher, like someone who could teach me makam. So I came across Mimi. This is from her. She introduced me to Turkish music. She also played a lot of Arabic music. This is from one of her books. This is how I first learned makam. This is how not to learn makam. Right? Because this shows, for instance, it's spelled M-A-Q-A-M. That tells you it's more the Arab makam and not the Turkish makam. It shows it like a scale. This is how it goes. And that's not how makam are. Like if you look at this Nahawan, it's a minor scale, right? It's a
actually.
Or Nihavent in Turkish. It's a minor scale. Our Western ears can understand this. There are no quarter tones in it, but it tells you that it goes up this way, it goes down this way. It shows makam Hijaz. Hijaz is something we hear a lot in Middle Eastern music. It's the one that has the devil's interval. For those of you listening who haven't heard a lot of this. There are different ways to play that. There's the Arab music way to play that and the Turkish music way to play it, right? Because that second is going to be different in the two systems.
Was that Hijaz? What was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Turkish is a little more compressed together.
Yeah, the Turkish one you're playing the 2 a comma high and the 3 a comma low.
Yeah, comma low. I mean, it should be. That's how I play.
Yeah. Yeah, you're playing the 3 from the overtone series and then the.
My intonation is not great. Like
it sounded good.
My
good to me.
Execution isn't always as good as what I would like to play, but anyway, it shows Hijaz is going up like this and going down. It's not really like that, and I want to move off of this. I just want to use that as an example, and also give a nod to my first oud teacher, Mimi Spencer, who introduced me to Turkish music, which ultimately got me to Turkey. But can we move on to the second page? And I just want to kind of read something from the bottom of this. Keep going. This note here. This freaked me out then, and it freaks me out now.
Let's see.
And I hadn't, I moved to Turkey without this book in my possession, but coming back to this and looking through my old music books and coming across this, I thought it was worthy of reading. In Turkish musical notation, everything is written a fifth higher than concert pitch. Thus, makams whose final is C will be written on G and so on. Bear this in mind if you ever use music published in Turkey. To make things even more confusing, many Turkish musicians tune their instruments a whole tone higher, like us, like the oud, than Arab musicians. Therefore, if you're reading Turkish music notation and your oud or kanun is tuned in Arab style, you'll be reading G but sounding C.
Okay.
This is the type thing in my musician brain that says, just how does it go? Right?
Yeah.
How does it go?
Can you just play it for a second and then I hear it?
And again, I'm not a great reader, but when somebody puts a samai or something classical, Turkish classical in front of me, I just have to look at the intervals. I can't bother myself with what key it's in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
well,
I think very intervallically as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what. Okay, it might be a weird left hook. I have no idea. So you said what key is it in, right?
Right.
If we're thinking about these and maqams in that sense, we're not.
We're thinking of the dominant note, like.
Okay.
Yeah, like if we're gonna play Nahawand, if I'm gonna use Arabic terminology, if we're gonna play minor, we're gonna play in C minor.
Yeah.
Right? Are we gonna play Nahawand based on Rast? Or are we gonna play Duga? Like, are we gonna play C minor or D minor?
Okay.
Because both of those are Nahawand.
Right, because it's about the system.
It's about the intervals.
Yeah, okay.
Not your starting point. However, in Turkish music, a Turkish musician would say you're wrong because Husseini should always start here. This is where you have to say, I'm not a classical musician. I'm playing for singers.
Yeah.
They can't always sing in that, I'm going to say key. They can't always sing in A. They sometimes need to sing in C.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I say key, what I really mean is what's the starting.
So it's okay. It's like, it's the way. So I think the way that we should be teaching scales, that arrangement of things should always be taught in distance. It should always be taught about, because a lot of the time we're stuck going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in Western
Listen
theory.
to her, by the way. She's an actual music teacher. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people who do things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so we're stuck in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 place, right? And if we're looking at music by distance, we really should be thinking about it in steps. We should really be thinking about, right? Which is, I think, effectively what this is doing when we're saying, it's not about what key it's in, it's about what the distance between the notes is. We're talking about in, quote, steps, not really, but in tones, the distance between them.
Yes.
So, yeah, if we did everything that way, if we normalized teaching things that as distance between tones, we could effectively, I think, bridge all of that from all over the world. You would just have to account for the fact that like some systems have microtones and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still just talking about distance. It's still just talking about intervals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not attached to anything. It's what Jesse would call theory floating in space,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
You're removing all of that from being stuck to something and saying, cool, this is the distance. We just take the distance and superimpose it on top of a bunch of other things.
Hmm.
But I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I
Now, tying that back to something you said really early on, like what good keys can be played in this?
Mm-hmm.
If you're really good and intonate well, everyone. Because the way my oud is tuned, like if I'm playing Hijaz, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to play Hijaz. I like my open notes, right? I like those drones. I like those drones. So I might play in this key. My nice bassy tone, right?
That low A. Put it in my veins.
Oh yeah. Yes, this room got very hot just now. I'm just gonna say.
No.
That was very cool.
It's Hijaz. We'll always, I don't know where I was going to go with that.
Is it hot in here or is it just Larry?
It's just Larry.
It's
I
actually
think.
fun. Yeah.
So we were talking about too.
Well, yeah.
this
What I was
tuning,
going
right?
to say is I should be able to play those intervals anywhere. I could play Hijaz. With an open string or not with an open string. But I need to intonate it well. And I should, a really astute, well-trained musician should be able to play all of these maqams anywhere because they know that interval structure and they can see it in patterns or feel it. Like it's all patterns. The nice thing about tuning my oud the way I tune it, I've got another oud that I use for other music that's tuned up or tuned down a step, the more Arabic tuning, is I can transpose pretty easily. I can play this or a fourth, fifth down.
just Hijaz across your second lowest string and then your lowest melody string? So those are a fourth from each other.
Yeah.
So you have an F sharp string.
I do.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, yeah. I always get confused because of my having two ouds now and having them tuned differently. Right?
Gosh darn it, I got too many ouds.
Yeah.
They're
And they're tuned differently. So it's like, how does it go on this oud, right?
Play your 2 second to deepest. And then your next higher string. Those are a fourth. Yeah, those are a fourth.
Yeah, fourth.
So you've got 5 strings all tuned in
all
fourths.
tuned.
Which is not the way it normally is.
But listen to that. That's boomy.
Oh, dude. Diagram. Back to the diagram just for a second. Back to this. Oh, this is exciting. So what you do is you tune F sharp. No. You
it's not F
tune.
sharp.
Oh yeah, it's not F sharp.
Yeah.
You tune B E A
it's
D.
B.
But then you've got
G.
Oh, you tune B E A D G.
D.
B E A D G?
G, yeah, so A, then D, so that'd be E, yeah, so D.
A E. Oh, so you've got
B,
a power chord.
E, A, D.
So you've got a power chord on the bottom.
That's what that is. My power chord.
It's a fifth. Which, by the way, I only learned like not that long ago.
So
I was
is this what you're tuned to then? A E A D G C.
A D G. No, A D. A D.
Oh.
A.
A D A.
A.
Wait.
B. B. E. B. E. A. D. I mean, I'm tuned a step up from Arabic tuning.
Oh. Okay.
So E is
I feel
going
bad
to be,
for interrupting.
Yeah.
Back to it.
Yeah. So E.
Oh.
E is my friend. That's an E.
So are you thinking about the drones that you have to figure out what to fit with it? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I play with it. It's one group of people, and we're, she plays accordion and nays and this and that, and sings, and we're constantly trying to figure out what the good key is, because of those limitations. Like,
Right, because if you're matching with another
yeah,
instrument.
because
Yeah.
Even though it's nice to be able to have functionality on your fingerboard and play all the maqams in different places, it's going to be more powerful if you have a drone. Like if you can actually hit that string, right, and get that. So, yeah, that's how we navigate what keys we're going to play in.
Okay.
And there's 2 or 3, sometimes 4, that are easy to play any particular tune.
I think we're not concert enough for me to drone for you.
Go get close. Ooh, do you have the
Oh, do you hear?
touch?
Do you hear what he's doing?
I can hear it.
Oh, I don't have anything in my headphones still.
Oh.
I got nothing.
You still
I got
don't have it?
nothing.
Wow.
I don't know.
Let's find where you are.
Yeah, I'm just. I've got all the ambient noise. Here. Yep.
It's playing on your cord too.
Well, I've I play a little bit with this and that, but
Here, hold on.
I won't drone for you. It's fine. I could drone on stand-up bass for you.
I put on that the next chart that has the quarters. Or
The next chart.
Yeah.
Let's
That
do
has
it.
the tetrachords and pentachords. This where it gets fun, I think.
You hear that now?
Nope.
It's like a weird.
No. Still
No?
nothing.
No.
No. Everything's just.
Weird connected stuff.
It doesn't bug me because I can hear you guys. There we go.
Yeah.
Can everyone see these?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm reading the evidence.
Isn't Ushak usually called Husseini when it's a pentachord?
Could you blow that up, Jesse? Can you make it a little bigger?
Not and see all of them.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
go.
okay, that's
We'll go
okay.
through them in.
Yeah, go in chunks.
Yeah, we'll go in chunks here. Will it
Only
not?
because of LARC camp could I acquire a friend. I never knew I would have a friend at this age. It says something to me like, "Isn't Ushak actually Husseini?" When it's yes, you would be correct. When you look at, for those of you who aren't familiar with what is on the screen now, this is the way that some makam are broken into 4-note and 5-note fragments. Dörtlüsü in Turkish just means like 5-piece, right? So, or 4-piece rather. So think of those as a tetrachord, and the beşlisi is the pentachord, right? That's why you see 4 notes on the left, 5 on the right. Can you
How do you pronounce those two words again?
Dörtlüsü,
Dörtlüsü.
Dörtlüsü.
Oh, I'll butcher it. I'll butcher.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I still butcher it.
And then beşlisi.
Beşlisi.
All right.
Çarga beşlisi.
Evan wants
Yeah,
the
so-
rest of the chart.
Yeah, so
We're cutting off charga, but charga's just the
Yeah, it's
Pythagorean major scale.
yeah, it's
so.
a major scale.
Those are words
Uh,
together.
yeah. Yeah, they're words together.
They're words together.
Busalik is like a minor, relative minor, I guess.
Yeah.
The important thing to take out of this is the Turks took music, Ottoman music, which had a lot of Arab music influences in it. If you look at the two different systems, Arab music and Turkish music is a lot more developed. It has more commas, right? A much more complicated, intricate system. But nothing that you find online in any of these single sheet, 1 sheet, 2 sheet representations is thorough enough to, like to your point, wouldn't you call that Husseini? Well, we'll get to what Husseini is. Husseini is a certain makam. It's based on the Ushak notes. But the important thing for this is to see that these are the basic building blocks of makam. And if you look at, let's look at Ushak a little more, because Ushak's a real important one, right? The 4-note, the tetrachord, if I'm going to play it, let me play it on E here, right? So there's the 1. It's going to have a kind of a sharp neutral. Can I call it a sharp neutral second?
Yeah, it's the major second down a comma. It's a very high neutral
So
second.
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4. There's a tetrachord. 1, 2, 3, 4. The pentachord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That I would normally think of if I'm going to use that tone and lead with it or focus on it. That would be called Husseini, right? But even these 4-note and 5-note building blocks, not even, but these 4 and 5-note building blocks don't really tell the story of what a makam is or even represent a named makam. What do I mean by that? Go to the next one. The next chart is where it gets interesting, where we get some flexibility. This is just kind of an intro.
This is probably another left field question.
I like
And
left
you
field
c-
questions.
okay.
I'm going really fast because I want to get to the good stuff here.
Well, I'm just curious
Right.
because you said where if we focus on it starting or like this being that the note you said where we start in that
right.
just now, that just made me think about modes, and I was like, is it getting even weirder if you think about
Well,
modes or no here?
No, I think of if you play C major, like what key are we going to play this Bruno tune? C major or D major? They're the same relative notes. They're just in a
Yeah.
different key. So where are you going? Where's your root going to be?
Can we spend before we move on?
Sure.
Because we don't really have a deadline.
That's good.
Let's
Yeah,
spend a
we're
little
hanging out.
more time
We're
on
hanging out.
We're
these
just hanging out, Larry.
Sure.
and categorize. Is it okay if I talk for a second about
Sure.
how I
No.
categorize?
I know. Yeah. Give me
So-
water break.
So Charga and Rost are the major ones. They're basically 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the major scale.
No.
And Rost's, you lower the third by a comma.
He said no.
Okay, but then he said to the major scale, and then I said no, but then he said, but you lower the third by a comma, which makes it yes. So it's it's almost the major scale.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah. One is the Pythagorean major scale, which is very close to equal tempered, and that's Charga. And one is the major scale you'd hear on in just intonation, basically. The major scale that the overtone series yields. That's Rost. It's 1, 2, and then a really low 3 that's almost sounds flat to your ears until you hear it buzz against the root, and then you realize it's yeah. Oh God. Right. Doesn't that major third feel a little flat? But at this.
And if we're thinking about this again, I have to go back to that thinking of like flat 2, neutral 2, sharp 2, that kind of like weird.
When we get to the minor ones, let's get through all the important ones first. So you've got Charga and Rost, and they're both similar to the major scale, but Rost lowers the third to be like a microtonal major third, a real low major third. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the minor-ish ones are Busulik, Kurdi, and Ushak. And they differ by where you put the second. Is that yes? Oh, it throws me that these are labeled underneath, not above, right? So Busulik here is basically, let me get a laser pointer here. So this right here is Busulik, right? And that's A, B, C, D. That's just the minor scale, right? It's Pythagorean, or if we're talking Turkish music, it is.
To complicate things just a little bit, understand that Nahawand or Nihevent is also a minor scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the difference? Motion.
Yeah.
Right. So what is very limiting it in talking about McComet, looking at these petrichords or tetrachords and pentachords, is they don't tell you anything about how they move. Do you start at which note? Do you start at the fourth and descend, or do you ascend? Because Nahawand and Busulik have relatively they're the same notes, but they're not the same makam, because one might go up, one might go down. One might focus on one note, one doesn't. It uses another note and focuses on it.
And that's why I was thinking about modes, because modes are just the same scale starting somewhere else.
Right.
So if we're thinking about it as a loop, right? If we think, even if we're just looking at these tetrachords or what have you, right? We put them in a circle and we look at them as a loop where we don't have a specific place we have to start something. It's just going right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're thinking about them that way. That to me feels the same pathway of thinking as a mode would, but that's just because that's what I'm used to.
May I try and paraphrase what you were saying, Larry? It's these names imply not only a scale, but a series of idiomatic licks, right? They're halfway between a scale and a song, right? There might be, what were the two that you just named that are the same source notes?
Nihevent and Busulik.
Yeah, Nihevent and Busulik, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. They're both just the minor scale, but the way they move through the minor scale is different. So that's going to be a little foreign when you're trying to learn Makam theory, is that it also implies what you're supposed to play.
But we're not technically supposed to play anything, because we already talked about that.
Yeah, I could give you. Let me. Here's Busulik in a song. Here's where I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I want you to hear this. Buselik is in the high part of that tune. Buselik you can understand it just by a few notes. You can understand the fragment as Buselik. So that's another kind of level of understanding Makam. When you're hearing a song, like you can think of Makam in a classical sense where things really move all over the place and they're very technical. And you can think of them in the context of just a folk piece where that 5-note fragment is what the melody is made up from.
The
You
way
know
you
what
were
I'm saying?
the way you were cadencing on 5 after those
Mhm.
licks, is that kind of, yeah, that note to come to a rest at that note, is that kind of,
Yes. I'm trying to think what Makam that would actually be in instead of just the high part. What's your question specifically? Like that fifth in that scale?
yeah, the you're taking that that set of source notes, that pentachord, right?
Right?
And the way you're snaking through them and the notes you're choosing to resolve matter as much to the Makam as the source notes themselves.
Yes. Well, this is
Yeah.
just Uskadara, but yes, theoretically, absolutely.
So,
Like how,
sorry, keep going.
yeah, how you approach different notes, where you're coming from or to. Is this what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're gonna get this out. You need this out. Yeah.
No, never, no.
There's like the real kind of like, this is how it's supposed to go. This is the classical repertoire, and then there's the partying in the Mehanes, drinking songs that are still based on Makam,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not as worried about things. It's a lot more fluid
Sure.
because there's a lot more fluid.
That makes sense. Yeah. I can't even move it. So okay, my question is, so I'm trying to put, I don't know, I'm trying to put words on stuff, and Jesse and I talked about this a little bit, but like, just as far as like the way of understanding things that are placed in space in a way that they're not actually supposed to be labeled, as most theoretical stuff is.
Uh-huh.
We just made labels to make things make sense. That's what humans did. We just kind of did that.
Okay.
So in thinking about, we were talking about how like the Makam is not just like this one system. It's also called, it's like this Makam, that word, is also these two things stuck together into one system. So you were talking about like looking back at that chart you had, where you have, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the words because I know I can't. You could put two of these together and call that system something else. Is that right?
Well, almost.
Okay.
You put two of these together, then you may actually get a named Makam. And
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you'll get a named Makam. Then the next level above that is something called Tarkib, where you combine two Makams, and that's where you do Sayr, or you modulate. You go from one Makam, and you can go from, say, the fourth, Neva, or the fifth. All the notes have names. But say that you modulate from the fourth, or you modulate from the fifth into this Makam, or this tetrachord of a Makam, because I can mix up the terminology. I can go into a tetrachord or pentachord of like one of these, Kurdi or Ushak or Charga or Hijaz, from the fourth of a Makam, being another Makam.
Right.
But if I put two Makams together, that's called Tarkib. And a lot of times people say if you are playing Makam Husseini, you should also play this Makam for it to be Husseini. Does that make any sense?
Weirdly, yes, it does.
In order for it to be Husseini, you have to play Husseini and something else related to Husseini for it actually to be Husseini.
Yes.
You have to modulate.
So like if you went in like, again, I'm trying to put steps on stuff that doesn't allow it, so forgive me. But like if I'm going, okay, I'm starting from scratch. I've got this whole like collection of stuff. I've got collections of staff in front of me, right? I'm gonna say I have one of these. Cool. I call that could be a tetrachord from a macam. I take another one of those and I stick it to that. Now that whole thing is a macam and it has its own function, right? And then I can get from that to another one based on whatever note I want to jump from, and I can use that as a waypoint to get someplace else.
See how fun it can be?
As long as I know how to do it, it makes sense. I literally have no idea.
And that's basically it. You can go here and there within some constructed rules, which often make sense because they sound good, right? Like some rule, again, they're there because they make sense. They sound good to our ears.
And it's further complicated by you. Let's say you had the tetrachord Rost, which is 1, 2, major 3 down a comma 4, right?
It is.
And then you went to the 5th scale degree and you played another Rost.
Want me to start with the Rost on the 4th, though? Like that. Rost. There's the pentachord,
5.
right? Pentachord.
Yeah. And then off 5, you do another Rost, right?
So, whole tone.
Oh.
There's the neutral and the end.
Yeah. Do you see?
Yes.
That's Rost on
Liz,
Rost.
do you see how you put these pentachords and tetrachords together?
Yes.
You start them from very, like, you'll play
From
like
various points.
Yeah. So and it's wildly confusing.
Yeah.
Because
it is.
because
it is.
because you've got a pentachord and a tetrachord called Rost.
This is what I was talking about.
When you put them together, you can use them to build Macam Rost. But the names of the starting notes, Rost, Duga, Sega, Charga, Neva. So Rost is taking Rost and starting it from Rost and one other place, and it makes a Macam called Rost.
That was what I was remembering. That we talked about.
There's 3 things.
Yeah.
Rost is the name of a
crazy.
note. It's the name of a pentachord and tetrachord, and it's the name of a Macam you can build out of them.
And you really only need to know 2 of those 3.
Which two?
Well, I don't think, at a certain level, it's good to know everything. But you don't need to know, in order to play this music as a folk musician at a party in California, you do not need to know which note is called Rost.
Yeah,
Because
we've got
we
good
can
enough
play-
names here.
Right,
C,
we can
D, E,
Rost,
F, G.
play Rost on C or Rost on D. We can merge our Western terminology really seamlessly and easy without saying, we're going to play Rost on Rost. Like, what do you mean? And you got a Turkish oud? So which note are you?
No,
Like-
it's already too hard.
And Larry, am I correct that when you're in Macam Rost and you're playing the higher tetrachord, on your way down, you would actually play Busalik?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really common. It's common in a lot of Macams to play
So
a higher interval going on when you're ascending, and then lower, which sounds like this to those who on the way up. In a major scale, it would sound like this. So
It's so funny hearing that 3 in there now.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
you get Busalik. So on the way up, Rost. On the way down, Busalik. And Rost.
So, Liz, you're familiar with melodic minor,
Yes.
right? So you know wibbly wobbly notes that the 6 and 7 are this when we're ascending, but they're that when we're descending.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this Macam that is the Rost pentachord, and then a Rost tetrachord on the way up, built a little higher, but on the way down, it's a different one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just being able to like what ties my brain up with stuff like this is trying to come up with the language with which to use to talk about it, because there are, like So like we just talked about the Rost on Rost, that kind of thing, right? If I'm trying to, because I often when I'm teaching, especially when I have like brand new students who are like, music is brand new, and I'm trying to teach them how to improvise or something like that, or like a lot of the folk stuff that we do. Like if you're gonna be in a room full of people who want to play music and you want to play music with them, I want you to be able to do that. And the way that I usually talk about that, that's why I'm saying things like, oh, we have to know what like numbers of chords are, because often you'll get musicians and throwing, it's a 1 4 5 meow meow meow, whatever that is. You want to know what that is if people are throwing it at you. And so that's where my brain gets tied in knots here, is because I'm trying to come up with a language that I can use to talk about this that way with other musicians. Again, brand new to all this music. I am not I'm not versed at all in this. But that's where I get stuck, is more of like, what's the language I use to do that kind of thing. Right?
Are you trying to talk to another person?
I'm trying to listen to a person who's saying it to me is pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, learning the names of the pentachords and tetrachords will unlock a lot.
And the vernacular would be like this: Rost on bottom, he just on top.
And those are notes in that case?
Yeah, like to be more specific,
Yeah,
you
those
might
are
say,
pentachords and tetrachords.
tetrachord, Rost, tetrachord, or pentachord. But I would think, okay, let's say like Rost on the bottom, he jazz on top. So Rost on the bottom, he jazz on top.
Okay.
He jazz.
Okay. That makes sense. And then
and that might have a name to it. That might be a named macam. So again, we can
we play through some of the
Sure.
tetrachords again?
Yeah.
So, will you give us the difference between Charga and Rost again? Those are the two major ones.
Yeah. So I will play them all on C. I will not start on A like they're showing here.
All right.
Rost.
So that was two. Give me
Right.
just the pentachord on the bottom, if you would.
Tetrachord or pentachord?
Either. Nice. So that was Rost or Charga.
Charga. I hope.
Nice. So that one's very major.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Charga is easy because C major is the easy major scale in Western music, and Charga is the one that starts with C. So you can remember that one easily. And then Rost is probably it lowers that third.
And if I'm playing Arabic, so
Yeah.
difference, real
dirtier,
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Persian, Arabic. But I do like the Turkish Rost.
And that's
That
generally
one comma flat.
Turkish is the highest. Arabic is dead on the quarter step, and then Persian is below the quarter step.
And then Kurdi has no quarters.
So yeah, those were the two major ones, and then the three minor-ish ones are Busalik, Kurdi, and Ushak, and that just differs in where you put the two, the major two, the minor two, or the neutral two.
Ushak is the neutral two?
Busalik.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Ushak's the
okay, it's
neutral.
got the little, it's got the
Kurdi
little
is, yeah.
line guide through the flat. I see, okay.
You can play Kurdi on a mandolin.
Yeah? Can I do it?
Yeah, you can. You
show
can
me?
play Kurdi on the mandolin.
I want to do it. Can you show me how?
I want to do it. This is going to go here.
Yeah, so Kurdi here, it's basically just minor with a flat two.
Kurdi is the one below, yeah.
This one,
A, B
this
flat,
one
C.
here,
Yeah.
that backwards flat, that's Ushak, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's labeled wrong.
Yeah.
It's the label is underneath. Upsettingly.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can actually try this at home.
Tuning?
Yeah.
I never do it.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, have you ever thought about tuning your guitar?
Never do it. Okay, so how do I do it?
Well, let's see. Where do you want to start off? Let's play a Kurdi in D.
Okay.
No, in E. See, I'm tuned up to E.
Okay.
So Kurdi and E would just be, if you look at the steps, it'd be. There you go. That's Kurdi. And that's just what, a relative minor? Yeah. Macam with no microtones. So that would be the pentachord.
Yeah, that's like minor with a
Oh, the
minor
one,
second,
two,
right? It starts with a half step.
Yeah.
And then the pentachord. That's in Kurdi.
And then
Yeah.
if you were to raise that 2 by a half step, then it's Busalik, right?
Right. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, which is just minor.
Yeah. And then the 2 when you play the 2 in between the Kurdi low 2 and the
That's
and
Ushak.
Busalik high 2, that's Ushak.
And that's what a fretted instrument can't do.
Yeah.
Fretted
You
instrument
could
can't do
go down to the minor second and try and bend up, but that would be difficult.
Oh, it'd be hard to bend that,
yeah,
that far
on
up. Yeah, it'd be
mandolin?
really hard. And you would not intonate it well.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense. I wouldn't. No one would.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
It could not be. It could not be intonated well. How's that?
Okay. I can do it.
Yeah, so we've got the 2 major ones, Rost and Charga, and we've got the 3 minorish ones, Ushak, Kurdi, and Busalik.
And there are more than this. This is is Hijaz on this?
Um,
On the bottom?
it is right
Okay,
there.
and you have Ross as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then Sega and Saba. There's a bunch, and Nakris. Oh, Nakris is so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of different macams and different intervals. Hijaz is interesting in that
I don't know how to approach the microtones on Hijaz because some things say to squish the augmented second.
That's when I'm playing with people that play Turkish music here. We do that, and what that means is just like his little squish. Bring those intervals together. Make the second a little bit sharper and the third a little flat. Versus more of a Arab
Can you
thing.
play the equal tempered one, the Hijaz that you would be able to play on a mandolin?
Sure. This one. There's a second.
Yeah, so Liz, that's the minor second and the major third.
But that's not how it would be in Turkish music.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you could get close to it when we play, and sometimes we play Middle Eastern music on fretted instruments, and we just can't get the quarters. We can't get the microtones. You know, we deal with that.
That third fret, move it up to 4th fret.
Wait, no.
One more. Oh, you're gonna remember I'm starting E, so that's gonna be
my
A.
ears here, so.
So you're gonna start on E, right? E.
That's not right.
1.5 step higher.
Half step higher.
There it is.
There's a devil's interval.
Like that.
Yeah, Hijaz. That's what we played.
Mizerlu is
Yeah.
Hijaz, yeah.
Yeah, he was Lebanese.
Oh.
Did you know that? The guy that wrote Mizerlu.
That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's the Hijaz scale.
Mhm.
But you can play that on.
That's yeah.
But that doesn't have the squished Turkish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see in this diagram of Hijaz here,
They
they
got
are,
a special notation for that.
yeah, this right here, right? they're saying it's the minor second, but just slightly higher.
Mm-hmm.
And also that sometimes you'll see them microtonally lower that third as well. Is that correct, Larry?
Yes. Again, a limitation of trying to digest all this information into one little chart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's this unless it's not. When it's this, and in that other circumstance when it's this.
So okay, wait. You just said that I'm looking at it like a noob who's looking at that like a C sharp. But it's not. It's you just said that's raised. It's the same pitch but raised higher, right? As the one before it.
It might
Technically?
be flattened
You're
a bit.
doing
It
the
might be
cool long
flattened a bit.
arm thing.
Oh yeah. Look how long my arms are. Whoa.
A neutral D, if you will, C sharp D. Look like this.
But it's not considered the same pitch like this. Words to describe this stuff.
It could be flattened from what your mind
Yes.
wants to do in looking at that right now.
That C sharp.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I
could,
thought.
Could
Okay.
be
That's
a
what
little
you're
low.
thinking, right?
Okay.
You're looking at it going, that looks like a really familiar symbol, and they're telling me that it's not what I think it is.
Yes, okay.
And you would be correct in thinking that
Cool.
we are telling you something that you don't think
Cool.
you should know.
I love that. Great. Thank you.
'Cause it
Thank
will
you
make
for
your brain
validating me,
explode.
Larry. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, I get it.
But I
Yeah.
think that we've pretty much done a really good summary of pentachords and tetrachords. There are these building blocks, and some of them have more than one name. Some names have slightly different interpretations, like that Hijaz. You might see that C sharp a comma lower. But then they are the building blocks you put together to build a maqam.
Yes.
Yeah. Shall we continue?
Yeah, let's go to the fun stuff. Like, it's all fun stuff. Hi, David.
All right.
Hi.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, David's here. He's over there. You can't see
Yeah.
him.
Maybe you can feel his presence.
Peeking.
You can peek.
You can
come
feel
and
his
peek.
presence. He is, in fact, here
Jesse, if you
Here,
want to switch
let
back to
me-
the camera.
Yeah. Let me,
providing
There he is.
an occasional wink and good vibe from.
Dave,
See it
David's
over
going to
there.
get some good screen time at some point.
Yeah.
We would like you guys to actually play some music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah. I mean, we can take a sit and have that happen right now.
yeah, I think that would probably break up the technicality
I
of,
think that's
of
good.
this. Yeah.
I will trade you spots and you can be here.
But maybe we can talk about what's about to happen so people can keep
Sure.
an ear out
See
for.
We should probably talk about that too, then, I guess. Huh? We don't know.
We
What's
don't know.
gonna,
Yeah,
what's
we
gonna
don't know.
happen?
We don't know.
Do you have a maqam in mind that you'd like to?
Do this.
You know? I'd rather not do the Samai yet because it requires a little bit more knowledge about where we're going and stuff.
Okay.
With that, we could play Lamb 7, which isn't super Macomb based, but we could.
Yeah, I can play that with you.
Yeah, we could play it. We can all play it together. This is yeah, because why not? This is an Afghan song.
Good tune. Good tune.
Yeah, that we learned a bunch of years ago at Lark Camp, I think, over 20 years ago.
And let's make sure we've got mics on the instruments before we start. Actually, that Doombek might.
Make sure I get that in a non-falling position.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh, we're swapping the oud out.
Yeah, this is when Liz and I play music together, we're usually playing these instruments. And we know this tune, again, this isn't going to be well, I guess you could say it's Macomb based in a way. It's
Yeah.
it's Charga.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. You could say that.
Well, yeah, it's
How many
it's-
people in chat got that joke?
Everyone, all of them got it, Jesse.
Yeah.
Remember, Charga is the one that starts with C, so it's the most like the major scale.
Yeah, it's
So-
a major
You remember
key.
how cool it is when people explain jokes to you? Do you remember that?
And Yeah, and it's in a 7/8 rhythm,
Yeah.
and it's kind of fun to play. We won't drag it out for 20 minutes like we will do sometimes.
Oh, okay.
know,
I'll follow you.
Yeah,
I'll follow you for
Yeah.
how long you want to go.
yeah, a little Afghan music here. We call that one the Long Afghan Major in 7/8, or
Long
Lamb
Afghan
7
melody.
for short.
Yeah, it had a name. At some point, it had a
has
name.
It has a name. Yeah, I think Kevin Hughes actually found the name somehow.
Yeah.
We were playing this tune. You know these people. We were playing
Mhm.
with Bruno in Amsterdam
Mhm.
23 years ago last week.
Ah.
The first Iraq War had just started. We were in Amsterdam together, and we knew that tune. We had just learned it. And this Afghan guy came up. He was hearing us play this in Dam Square, right? And he was a bit shocked. Like, we're out there looking like we do, and, top hats and coats and stuff, accordions, playing this Afghan tune, right? He's like, where did you learn that? And he wrote it down. He wrote down the words. And I was learning Farsi at the time, and I looked at the words, and I didn't understand a word of it. It turns out it was in Pashto, which is a different language. But nevertheless, it was a real fun experience. And that guy, out with Bruno playing that.
That's fun. I love
So,
that.
like,
I
every
love
time
that.
we
That
play-
tune's fun to
It's
play.
a fun
yeah.
tune. Yeah, it's a fun tune.
It's a good
Never
one.
gets old.
Mhm.
So that's a tune.
Yeah, we did it. Hooray.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Yeah. Charga,
Yeah,
nice,
I've been enjoying
nice
the
major.
conversation, sitting right.
Oh my
right to
gosh.
this side here, just listening to you guys talk has been
Yeah.
very interesting conversation.
Want to add something?
Yeah, we should give
I
you
don't. I wanna
the
listen
floor
more.
for
I
a
wanna hear
moment.
more. I'm like all these lovely people watching right now. I just want to hear more from you guys.
We still have anybody watching?
Yeah, I think we do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're still paying attention.
Let's see. GPT
ChatGPT.
sucks for Macomb. Yeah. And pretty much anything that requires
Yeah,
facts.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. but I'm just getting now to read
Yeah,
them.
we have this experience every time when we're like, is there anyone left? And then
I have no idea.
a bunch of people in chat will be like, we're here, we're here. But this could be yep,
There
we
go.
still have Evan still watching.
All right.
Dimitri,
What's up,
hi.
Evan?
Dimitri, hi. Oh.
Thank you guys so much for being here and watching us.
Ah.
Oh, we've got so many people.
Yeah.
So many beautiful people. Look at them.
Being here on a Friday night, this is great.
Yeah.
What a fun crew.
They're here to watch us drink.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, perhaps.
What did we do last time? We said we were going to drink every time what happens. I can't remember. We had a thing.
Yeah, you did, and you were drinking.
I remember.
So yeah, we should plug Lark. I think a lot of people here already go to it, but I went there and it was life changing. My musical community just multiplied by 10. Like, I know all of these incredible musicians now. They're all in the Bay Area. If you're in the Bay Area, go to it. It will change your life. It's amazing. Yeah.
If you're not in the Bay Area, go to it.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
people who go to it aren't even in the Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They fly from here and there to be there.
But then when you travel later on, you've got so many more couches to crash.
Yeah.
I literally did that. I had a friend I met. I had already planned to go to Greece by chance that year, and I met her in the kitchen at Lark, and she was from Greece. And I was like, hey, I'm going to Greece in like 6 months. Can I see you when I'm there? And she's like, yeah. And I went to her house and I slept down in like a bed at her house and I met her Greek mom and it was super awesome. So it's a thing and it's amazing. And Lark is amazing. And it's my favorite place in the world.
I got married and had a kid because of Lark. And
What?
Larry. What a world.
And he's a boy. The magic of Lark. He had a kid.
I had a kid who's now going to come to Lark his entire life.
Yep. Yep.
And then grow up to have kids who are going to go to Lark. And we'll keep the music going, man. All right, together.
You got married because of
Well, I
Lark?
mean, it's all roundabout, like, right, you know, I first started going to Lark back in the late 90s, probably 96, I think we discovered today, in about 1996. And then through that and through Renaissance Fair, like Lark, there's this trifecta of Northern California folk and traditional music, I feel, that Lark runs right through. There's Lark Camp, there's Sweet Smell, which is a private little party down in Fresno. And then there's the Renaissance Fairs, the Patterson family and everyone, and the Dickens Fair. And between those three things,
Put that mic a
just
little
lot of
closer.
this
Put that
scene
mic a
comes
little
together.
closer.
a lot of the scene comes together through those three places. And so at the fair, I ran into kind of the musicians there. The first time I went to the California Fair, I met all the musicians and started working at the fair, running a kitchen for Don Brown, the Mullahs. I don't know if anyone in this chat or who's watching right now knows that scene. But Don Brown not only catered at the fairs, but he also catered at Sweet Smell and Lark Camp. And so I started going to the camp through Don Brown. And through those places, I met Larry and a bunch of the people that we've all been talking about, kind of, you know, not by name, but by reputation and by vibe here at the last couple hours. That whole crew. And then through that, Larry moves to Turkey. Larry starts teaching English. A student of his, a young Safiye Çelik, learning English from Larry, and she wants to come to San Francisco to study more English. He hooks her up with some friends who happen to be in a band that I'm playing with. She came to the gig. Boom, Bob's your uncle, married, got a baby, moved to Turkey for a while.
Amazing.
Go, Lark Camp,
There you go.
baby.
Another friend of mine recently in Turkey, because I helped her get an electric guitar, she got a guitar teacher, and now they're married and they have a baby.
Wow.
So I feel like I am helping to repopulate the
There's
world
little
somehow.
Cupid.
Like without having any children of my own. I keep,
Pretty good. That's
you
the way
know,
to do it.
getting people like, here, have a kid, you
There
two.
you go.
Go procreate.
I love it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think at one of your parties, Jesse, I was talking to, oh gosh, I forget who it was.
What instrument?
Don't ask me that.
But anyways, now she had a baby.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it might have been Jeanette. It might have been Jeanette.
Wow.
But
No,
yeah,
she
no,
didn't-
we
she didn't
were
look at it.
talking about how in our friend group, 90% of the people that we hang out with or know or consider friends are because of Lark Camp. Like if I knew them in high school or in university, they might still be on my radar. But in the past 30 years, because of all the different musical scenes and just what I do, I had 90% or more the people that I actually, know or spend time with. I don't count the barista at the local Yemeni coffee shop. But perhaps I wouldn't know him either. I'd be going to Starbucks and not the local Yemeni coffee shop if I hadn't gone to Lark.
You never know.
Some more shameless Lark.
Lark
Is there
plugin.
anybody
plugin, yeah.
in this chat right now that doesn't know about Lark? I'm curious.
I think most people probably
Yeah, they
know,
already
but
know.
there's certainly some people that haven't gone yet.
So basically, Lark, for a quick spiel, I guess what Lark, it's 1979 is kind of the first official year that it kind of this loose party that had been happening that was Mickey Zeekley was doing up in Mendocino, kind of became an official Lark camp in 1979. So we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of it. In 2019, Mickey passed control of Lark Camp and production of it onto a nonprofit made of a bunch of members of the community, and they've been doing a great job keeping it going. Kind of trying to expand the program now that it is a nonprofit, and just trying to bring traditional music everywhere. And this is, I'm the executive director of the nonprofit, which is a great honor. I'm very happy to be doing that. It's a great thing that I totally believe in. Like I said, I'm gonna grow old there. I want my kid to grow old there, his kids to grow old there. So, and registration is open.
Registration is
open.
Yo.
It has the, I've never been to Burning Man, but I hear there's this effect where when you come home from it, the real world feels like the fake world, like you're leaving the real world. That's what Lark felt like to me, right? Like I was at Lark and I was like, this is how humanity is supposed to exist. I'm not supposed to be swapping my goods and services for capital, right? I'm supposed to be in the forest with an instrument in my hand making beautiful noise with other amazing people like that. It made me realize that's the real world, and then I came back to this made up capitalist world when I was done. And I can't wait to go back to the real world.
Yeah, so a certain freedom in just being able to jam 24 hours a day if you choose to, and be around people who pretty much want to do the same, and just surrounded by music and musicians and artists and creative people. It's a real blessing to be able to do that. And then, yeah, it definitely makes the rest of life seem a bit more mundane, but that's why we carry a little bit of it with us throughout the year, I suppose.
Yeah.
And try to do stuff like this and see each other and keep it going.
Pro tip. I figured it out. I figured out showering last time. You walk to the shower, you bring a bathrobe and you walk to the shower in the bathrobe. And that way you don't have to change clothes in the bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah. Worked out really well.
With flip-flops or with your shoes and socks?
Yeah, just flip-flops and bathrobe.
Just making sure, just checking.
Not a heathen.
All right.
Flip-flops and bathrobe. You walk in the shower, you hang up the bathrobe, take a shower, bathrobe back on.
I always bring I got these really nice flip-flops in France. And I bring them with me all the time there. They're my Philippe flops.
Philippe.
Thank you.
Actually, you guys know that after the episode, I'm planning on making galette complète. It's the savory French buckwheat crepes that are crunchy, and you fill them with eggs and cheese and bacon, ham if you're.
Is that an invitation for everyone to come over after the?
I mean, they're getting made. Anybody that comes over here after the episode's done will get fed them. Shall we talk about the drink? By the way, that was the drinking game. Anybody that's watching, anytime we go on a tangent,
Oh, that's what it was.
yeah, you have to drink anytime we go on a tangent.
There was a lot of drinking that night.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Evan said, "Wait, hold up, crepes." Yeah, a new kind of crepes, Evan. Crepe. You're not supposed to. The plural of crepe is crepe, but it's spelled with an S. Yeah, new kind. Traditionally, the crepes are for dessert and galette is for savory. We're upping our game. Come over after the episode and come over during the episode. Okay, let's do some more Makam, where were we? We had established that we have these building blocks and we can put them together in various ways to build a makam. And you had touched on that generally when you play a makam, you're expected to modulate to other makams. So it's typical for one makam to modulate to other ones.
That can also be in the context of writing a composition, especially in the classical repertoire, where you'll write something and it will be in a makam. It will modulate to another makam within the composition. That's very common.
And you had a word for that.
Tarkib.
And what does that word mean again?
It's combination, composite.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, maybe we should pick.
Mix.
Should we pick a makam that you really like to use as an example for all this?
Bring up, but bring up that last chart.
Yeah,
because that's going to be really helpful to understand this a little more, like the way we talk about it. As Liz says, I don't understand the language yet, and this helps with the language.
Is this a good spot on this diagram?
This is a good spot. We're going to move it up a little bit, but yeah, this is
a
little bit of a review of the tetrachords and pentachords. You see Charga, again, Pusalik, Kurdi. None of those. You don't need quarter-tones for any of those. Then you see Rost, the pentachord. You see the neutral second there, and Ushak as well. Now, you see with Ushak, in parentheses, it says Husseini. That's what Jesse said early on. He said, isn't Ushak Husseini if you're using the pentachord? Yes. And here's how they're different. Ushak, I'll play it on.
Can I write one note on here how you were talking about which ones required microtones? Here's what to look out for, guys. You see this backwards flat right there? And a backwards flat right there. And we've got a flat with a slash through it right there. Those are the microtones on the page. So we've got this one, and this one.
Yes.
Is that correct, Larry?
That is correct.
All right.
So if you look at Ushak, am I close enough to this mic?
No.
No? If you look at Ushak, and let's see, I'll play it on E. There's the tetrachord. Pentachord. Intonation's a little bit out. Tuning's a little bit out again. Sorry about my tuning.
You want a tuning break?
It's a little better.
I could get down with some oud tuning. I could just hang out and take a nap to that.
Yeah, just the tuning was beautiful.
It's kind of
wasn't
nice,
it?
right?
So when this note becomes the guchlu, becomes the strong note, you're in Husseini. Here's how
There's some new terminology. We haven't said that word yet.
Yeah, it
today.
just means strong, like strong note.
So
See, listen to the note sequence. Ushak, the pentachord. When I add this note and now focus on it, that's called Husseini. It's the same sequence of notes, but if I make this note important, actually, let me play it. Let me play Husseini in the low range.
Let me get a shot of both you and, if I can.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's the pentachord. I've changed my dominant note. I've changed it and I've dropped it down to B from where I was in E, just to make it so I can get that bass note. Because real Husseini should be played here in Turkish music, right? But I'm not making this my dominant note.
That's the fifth scale degree,
That's the
right?
fifth.
So
That tells me I'm in Husseini. That's not my dominant note anymore.
yeah,
That's
so
Ushak.
yeah, you're emphasizing that note right there, right?
Yeah. I'm back
will
down
you
at the
linger a
one.
moment on that, on the 2, so people can hear that microtone? Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the 2.
Yeah. That would be halfway in between 2 frets on a guitar. Not quite the minor 2 and not quite the major
Yeah.
2, but halfway in between them. Yeah.
If I'm trying to intonate it correctly,
Mhm.
it's always a struggle. I feel like, when you watch violin players, they're always doing the vibrato. I always imagine that because they can't find the right intonation,
Mhm.
right? And with oud, it's kind of the same. I'm vibrating my finger because is it exactly in the right spot?
Right.
But so that's a Husseini when you focus on this 5th. And it will often descend. The Husseini is a descending maqam. It starts on the 5th and it will descend down to the dominant, down to the 1. That makes sense. I mean, there's motion in maqam. They can start here, they end up here, they go here, right? This is so that's a little bit about how Ushak and Husseini are related. They're very related. And then it's got the Hijaz as well. I think I need a little bit, I want to get to the next part of this chart where we actually...
How are you guys doing? Do you need some water, snack, or anything? How are you feeling?
My water. How about you guys?
I should probably eat dinner at some point. I should
Oh,
probably.
have you still not eaten dinner?
Nah, I was helping you.
You can tap out for a second and
You might do that
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
grab a bowl of food.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Does anybody else want anything while I'm down there? You guys need anything? No? Okay. Okay. All right.
All right, so diagram.
There'll be a quiz, Liz.
Good.
All right.
I'll answer
Right.
all the same things.
Yeah, you can take Liz's spot if you want.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah.
Get some more camera time.
This here explains more about how maqams are named. This is all Turkish. There are similarities with Arabic, but this is all Turkish maqam. Charga is charga on charga.
Yeah.
Charga on the bottom, charga on the top. It's major.
Charga is 2 chargas, and one of those 2 chargas is on charga.
Right. Because now, see, when you're thinking of maqam,
Efficient.
you're always going to put together a pentachord and a tetrachord. Sometimes the tetrachord is on the bottom. Like if you look at Kurdi, you see Kurdi number 3. The Kurdi tetrachord is on the bottom, and then the Busulik pentachord is on the top. You're always going to,
He's right here, folks.
you're always going
And
to.
this is that connecting note here between the
and
1, 2, 3, 4, the tetrachord.
That would sound like this.
That connecting note between
No quarters. There's Kurdi, the tetrachord of Kurdi, and now Busulik, the minor. That would be Kurdi.
That connecting note between
The 4th here.
the pentachord and the tetrachord. Yeah, scale degree 4.
Right. This
The
one.
note that connects the 2 ajanas, is that generally a note of emphasis?
Of course. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
So if you've got this maqam, if you had a similar maqam that put more emphasis on scale degree 5, it would be a pentachord on the bottom and a tetrachord on top.
Yes. Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah, because you're always going to have a pentachord and a tetrachord giving you your octave.
Got it. So does that mean scale degrees 4 and 5? Oh.
They're modulation points, and so
yeah.
can the 3, and so can the 2, but they're good modulation
I
points.
can think of
Sayyid points.
I can think of an exception to that. Sabah is
Sabah's a 3. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, usually it's Hijaz off 3, right? They
Yeah,
kind of
Sabah is thought of as like it's thought of as a trichord.
Yeah.
The Sabah trichord, and then the Hijaz tetrachord on top, and then a Kurdi, and then another Hijaz. Like there's different ways you can break it up.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't seen Sabah, it's fun. It's not on this particular list here, but I think it's on the next page.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saba doesn't have a tetrachord. I guess you can call this the tetrachord, but I've always thought of Saba as a trichord, and then Hijaz,
Nice.
a squished Hijaz maybe. But
Yeah,
Saba's interesting.
squishing that Hijaz off Saba is very interesting because you end up raising the Hijaz minor second slightly,
Mhm.
and you create a note that is like that would be a major third. It's a diminished fourth, but it's like a major third up a comma. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, again, it's kind of, we're still at the introduction level to this, but when
We're getting a little deep.
yeah, when you start doing that and thinking about shifting things up a comma, you can get into these other named maqams. Oh, now you're in Huzam because that second is up 2 commas, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but at the very basic level, if you're talking about the maqam kurdi, what you're really talking about in Turkish music at the first level is a kurdi tetrachord followed by a busalik pentachord. Like that would be the standard, one of the standard ways, the standard way.
The kurdi tetrachord followed by the busalik pentachord makes a maqam called kurdi.
Right.
And there's that overloading of that word, that the 3 that we were talking about earlier. Right. It's starting positions, it's pentachord and tetrachords, and it's maqams.
Right. So if I'm talking to somebody, they say it's in Kurdi. The old Larry 20 years ago would have said, "Oh, I know those notes because I know a song in Kurdi." But really, Kurdi is only describing the lower portion, and it doesn't tell me if it's talking about a 4-note or 5-note. But there's Rost after that, which we already talked about. Rost is Rost on Rost. Right? You've got a Rost pentachord. Out of tune, and then followed by Rost again.
Which is tricky here because the notation is deceptive. They're calling this an F sharp, which it's actually not.
No,
that F
not.
sharp is a comma down, and it's not in the notation. You're supposed to just know. Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason why having teachers is still a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
because it'd be so messy to try to notate how these things are sometimes. Like,
right, so many little variations.
Yeah.
Peculiarities.
Yeah. So let's talk about Rost again for a second. You've got one whole step, would be a whole step, half step, except this note is lowered by a comma, right?
Right.
So it's a whole, and a half with this lowered by a comma. So here's your whole half here, and you can see that backwards flat lowering that by a comma. And then this is your whole half here, and there's nothing indicating that should be lowered by a comma, but it should.
But it should, yeah.
But it should.
The source material we're looking at right here is still from the late Mimi Spencer, my first teacher. I haven't found anything. This isn't perfect, but I haven't found anything really better that in my brain works.
Yeah.
Like I have seen things similar online, but I come back to this because I just like the way it's laid out.
Oh, we've got some good questions from Evan here.
What do we got?
So, quick question. Would you do the Busalik Cheshni on the Busalik pentachord on top of Kurdi? Oh, I think he's asking if the Cheshni are tied to the pentachords and tetrachords. I think does that make sense? Like if you're emphasizing the dominant in Kurdi, do you use the same licks that you would if you were emphasizing the root in Busalik? Yeah. So basically what Evan is asking is, how much are the Chechny tied to their related tetrachords and pentachords?
My understanding is they are specific to their named tetrachords or pentachords. Like a Buselik Chechny would be recognizable by its motif, by the way that it's played. Now, the short answer to your question, Evan, is I don't know. Right? I would probably consider it the same way, but because my training isn't in Turkish classical music at that level, and things are always changing depending upon where you start or what makam you're in. So I know certain things within the skeletons of certain makams, where to go and how to move, but yeah, specifically, and you could always ask me, would you, and if you meant would I versus would one, I might answer, yeah, I would, but that doesn't mean it's right. Right. If that makes sense.
It does.
But it's also living and evolving, and there's probably a lot of different people that are very proficient in this music that would answer yes to that question, and others that would answer no. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not good enough to know the answer either.
Yeah, the way that I understood the whole Chechny and how they were really taught, and listening for them, you can hear them if you listen to enough Peshrevs and classical music, you can kind of hear them. But I don't have a good enough ear to hear them, if this makes any sense, at like different tonal centers. Does that make sense?
Oh, so if you had Buselik as your starting,
right,
and there's a Chechny played there, and somebody plays that same Chechny with Buselik off the fifth scale degree,
my brain isn't going to register that really well.
Yeah. I do know that Chechny predated this system, right? These pentachords and tetrachords were not named when people were teaching things purely with Chechny. I'm fairly certain about that. I could be.
No, that's my understanding too. It would be interesting to hear what a classical musician, how they played back before there were recordings. We'll never know, but how they played some things that are being played now and named the same. Like how was really Hijaz Makam approached back in 1750?
Yeah.
Versus how it is approached now, where it's all been written down and codified, which in a lot of ways can also make it very much more.
Is there a certain purity that got lost or something like that, or purity of the tonality or something of the tones?
I mean, you have that same problem with European classical music. European classical music that was performed before we had the technology to record it. We're not really sure what it sounded like, and it's complicated by something called musica ficta, which it translates into fictitious music, right? Like jazz charts are all written in straight eighth notes. And you're supposed to know to swing them, but you're not. And people describe it as swung as the first and third of a triplet, but that's not really correct either. It's much straighter than that. And depending on the tempo, it can be extremely close to straight, even if it's not dead center, right? And we know all this because we could record all these jazz musicians throughout history, but we don't know what the musica ficta was for some of the classical music back in the day. There's like debates over whether certain trills started on the higher note or started on the lower note. So yeah, that same thing happens, I think, in all styles of music. Before we're handing it down through the generations, and we play the telephone game with it a little bit as we go.
The fluffy.
We have to switch camera angles because Liz has introduced.
This is the fat giraffe.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
By the way, my nickname is also Fat Giraffe.
Mm,
Some people call me Fat Giraffe.
it's true.
Um,
Not me, but some people.
I did not know that.
I want you to know that I miss Laura May. I was down talking to Laura May, and I was like, man, I miss you, Laura May. She was like, I miss you too.
and then you had to come back
And
up.
I came back
You're
up
like,
here.
no.
I was
Have
like,
Laura May and Michael come join us up here.
They're having fun down there.
Do you want to go hang out with them?
No. No, we don't.
Well, we're getting close.
I want to play a trip to Pakistan with Larry.
We usually go till about midnight, so we probably
That's true.
have 30 minutes left.
We should just play the trip to Pakistan right now.
So yeah. So then let's settle on a maqam and actually put this theory to a sound that people can wrap their ears around. What's a maqam that would be nice, that would give you some nice modulations maybe, and
Go back to the chart. Just have a little bit of reference. Go up one.
scroll
Yeah,
this
scroll.
this way.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. To the next
to the next one. Oh yeah, we still have
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. This is nothing. There's a lot of maqams.
yeah.
This doesn't even have saw. This is not a lot of maqams.
Ooh, Ushak
this-
with a Hijaz on top. Ooh, that's Ross with a Hijaz on
Ushak
top.
with I mean, see all the fun stuff. This is what's fun about maqam.
Husseini with an Ushak.
Right.
I was about to say I need this page, but I'm
Okay.
displaying it because you've given it to me
Yeah.
already.
Have it, yeah.
So
This is-
let's look at Husseini. Husseini was one I taught Husseini at Lark Camp this year. I like Husseini, and Husseini's a good one to illustrate because you can go a lot of places. We could use the other ones, but you saw that Husseini with Ushak on top. Now, if you remember Ushak,
They're doing the musica ficta again. Just to clear something up for viewers, this right here is just a sharp, but that is intended to be a microtone, right?
yes, it's a microtone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
If you looked at Ushak in the last page, think of Hussein. Ushak is a tetrachord, but Husseini is the pentachord. You just add that
yeah,
fifth on top.
and
And
then
Husseini is really Husseini with Ushak on top, which you could think of as Ushak pentachord with. Anyway,
Yep.
it sounds like this. Let's put a sound to it. Because
so this is minor with a flat 2, and then this
there's the Husseini.
is minor. With a neutral 2.
Right. So if you think of it now, it pentachord and tetrachord. There's the Husseini pentachord, and now we've got Ushak on top. Ushak had the neutral second, so there's my 1 now, the 5 of Husseini. So it's not the major. It's not that. It's that.
And
So
then
that's
the
Husseini.
and then the
Husseini's got the 2 microtones in it.
and then the composite, right? If you're thinking about it like that, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Mhm.
6, so that
Mhm.
6 is where that microtone lives.
Yes.
But as far as this pentachord is concerned, it's the second degree of that.
Yes.
It's the
yeah.
global 6, but the local
But,
2.
yeah, because Ushak is always going to be, you're going to think of the second as being the one that's neutral or the one that's flat. In Ushak. Ushak always the 2 is going to be that.
Megan is saying something to David.
Oh.
Hey, all, I'm going to crash. David, please tell.
Safia Megan says hello.
Okay.
Tamam.
Okay.
Good night, Megan.
Good night, Megan. But that would be named Husseini. Here's the fun stuff about one of the fun things about Maqam. I can modulate. I can do a sayyid or a modulation on the 4 or the 5 of Husseini pretty easily. Like if I'm playing Husseini. Emphasizing the 5, the Gujlu. There's my 4, there's Nava. And I can do a Hijaz on top of that. Like a Hijaz pentachord.
And it's worth noting that you didn't use the note of emphasis, right?
No,
That
I didn't.
fifth.
I just went to the 4th.
Yeah, you went to you modulated to an unemphasized note. Yeah. So
I
to
pretended like Ushak. I was using Ushak as a tetrachord.
yeah. So to diagram that out, right? We
'Cause I don't need to use the 5th.
yeah we went to this. Oh wait, sorry. We went to this note here and built an unrelated Hijaz pentachord off that.
Pentachord, because I used the 4th to modulate. So I'm going to put a pentachord on top.
Yeah. So, that's very interesting because, right, Hijaz locally is 1 flat 2 3 4 5, right? So when you put it in this context, that's going to end up, you're building it off 4, so that's going to be, if I can remember what a 4 looks like. 4, and then it would be flat 5, and then it would be major 6, and then it would be flat 7. Is that correct? 8.
Not a flat. Yes.
If you're building Hijaz off 4.
Yeah.
I was
it sounds
going,
like this.
It sounds like this, yeah. I was going in such a case that like you're retreating 4 as 1, or you're still treating 4 as 4.
I'm treating it as 1.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. We
I'm treating it as
modulate
1.
to 4.
Okay.
Like in my brain, it's 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So then you're not going 4 flat 5. You're going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brain might not.
You're going
work like your
1
brain works.
flat 2. Yeah.
Yeah, 1
Yes,
flat 2
1 flat
3
2.
4 5.
Got it.
Yeah, he's just going to 4 and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But it dawned on me for a second, if 4 is 1, flat 2 is flat 5. So
Yes.
the original key you end up playing the tritone.
Yeah. And so sometimes if you modulate from here, you'll go into all sorts of weird places. But
Yeah.
I was
But-
talking to Jesse about this once, and I was like, he was trying to ask me what numbers were. And we were talking about musical numbers, and he was like, so if 4 is 2 and 6 is 5, then what are these numbers? And I'm like, is 1 2? And he's like, no, 1 is 1. You're an idiot. And I was like,
Wait, I would never
he
in a
would
million
never
years
I know
say
he would never say that.
your
I know
brain
that.
injected that
I
part.
know that's true, but it was that though, where it was like, it's
Liz.
this number is this number.
I love you.
I
and
love you too.
And I think you're brilliant.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You're my co-host host.
You got to pull the meme up if you're gonna do it.
Wait, where is it? Memes?
It's in the folder. There it is. It's important.
You're my co-host host, Liz.
Thank you. But it was that though, where it was like we were talking about if numbers are other numbers, and then there was a number that came up, and I was like, "So is it this?" It's like, no, it's just that number.
So in computer programming, you generally count from 0. You start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But in musical intervals, you start from 1. And if we had started from 0, math would make sense. Because, like, you've got a perfect fifth. If you built a perfect fifth off of that, a perfect fifth of a perfect fifth is a ninth. So 5 plus 5 equals 9.
Right. Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It goes like this.
if we had counted from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a fourth would be an octave, an 8.
Right.
Oh God, it wouldn't be called an octave anymore. Oh, I hate
It wouldn't be 8.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be a 9 is now called an 8.
Hard math.
Music theory slumber party where brain
Yeah.
cells go to die.
Oh dear.
Evan says fence post, and I'm not sure what that means.
I also don't know what that means.
But also, it's the drinking game because that was a tangent.
There you go. I guess I have to finish my
Chat, you need to be yelling out when we go on tangents.
We also don't know what they are, really. So
Drink.
there's
Right.
not.
Everyone
Was
needs
this
to.
pertinent? Were we talking about this before?
That'd be funny if chat was actively trying to get us
Oh my
drunk.
God.
And the episode just ends when we can't keep going.
Oh dear. Oh no. I still want to play Trip to Pakistan with Larry. That's all I want to do today.
Okay. Let's untangent.
Okay.
So we were
You wanna
just
do it?
saying that one of the common modulations would be to go to the 4th scale degree and play Hijaz. Can you play us more of what that sounds like? That moment you change is just beautiful.
And come back to it there.
You came back to what there?
Husseini. I
Oh,
went
got
from. I went above, like a Kurdi, and just brought it back to the Husseini note. I guess on the way up, might be a tad bit sharper than when I come back down.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's notes
Yeah.
that will be up a
little
comma
bit.
in one direction and down a comma in the other.
And you don't have to go, if you're in Husseini, it says Ushak on top. You don't have to do Ushak on top. You could do Ushak on an ascending passage and then go back to Busalik, where you're flatting that second, making it more of a minor second. Would sound like this. Here's the Ushak one. There.
That's not Kurdi? Oh, you're saying Busalik off 4.
Right.
Which is
Wait, I have to think.
similar to Kurdi off 5.
No, if I'm doing it off the 5, yeah, it would be Kurdi. So you bring that instead of the microtone, you flattened it.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then that microtone and then that minor sixth from the original key, they're very close together, right? They're
A 2 commas?
Ooh, Corey liked it. We got a heart in chat. Ah, it's beautiful.
You know, when
Sounds
we were
real
talking
nice.
about Rost, oh, there's so much. I was wondering if we were going to have enough material to talk about. I took a few notes. We didn't touch any of it because there's so much. If
So
you're
much.
looking at Rost and Sega,
The Sega, the pentacle.
yeah. Like we're jumping at. We looked at Husseini a
Sega is
little
weird
bit.
because it starts on a microtone.
It starts. That's the one thing about Sega.
Yeah.
It's cool because you've got Rost. If you think about notes,
Is
the
there a
Ottoman numbering system, or some of this numbering comes from Farsi, from the old Ottoman times. Like there's the note Rost, and there's Duga. Du means 2. Se means 3 in Persian. So Sega, Ga means place. So Sega means 3rd place, 3rd position. Chahar
Oh.
means 4 in Persian. Charga, 4th
Charga.
position. Panj means 5 in Persian. Panjga, 5th position. The 5, the 4, the 3, the 2. Right? Like,
And
you know,
Neva is one of them, right?
yeah, but it's not. But Neva is. It's the name of a note. It's not the position.
Let's take a quick break. I'm going to look something up on Wikipedia and show everyone the names of notes because it's absolutely wild.
You can just listen to Larry play for a second. Let's just listen to Larry play for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you want. That's great.
Okay, so let's see.
Do more of it.
There we go. We are at the
Wikipedia
article now.
Do more of it.
There we go. We are at the
Wikipedia
article now.
The names of all
Oh my
the
God.
strings.
There we go. We are at the Wikipedia article now.
The names of
is the
all
second part.
the strings.
There we go. We are at the Wikipedia article now.
The names of
is the
all
second part.
the strings.
There we go. We are at the Wikipedia article now.
The names
is
of
the
all
second part.
the strings.
There we go. We are at the Wikipedia article now.
The names of
is the
all
second part.
the strings.
There we go. We are at the Wikipedia article now.
The names
is
of
the
all
second part. Oh, the screen
There we
shares
go.
out.
The
Wikipedia article now.
The names
is
of
the
all
second part. Oh, the screen
There we
shares
go.
out. Wikipedia article now.
Who said he has a
Here.
name? They all have names.
So, but is it okay? So it is the same. The same note can be the same.
This is why I said you don't need. This is the part. This Jesse said you need to know 3. Like it's Rost on Rost, played on Rost, and I said you only really need to know 2 of them. You don't need to know, in my opinion. Now, Sinan, my teacher, would probably say, "Are you crazy? You need to know all those names if you're right, because they're all important."
Yeah, sure. I mean, knowing stuff is cool.
Well, knowing
I will
knowing
say.
stuff is cool, right?
I like to. I hate to interject, but we totally blew up chat when we shared that window. Apparently, it created a crazy echo. we murdered everyone in chat.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, sorry guys, continue.
Knowing things is cool.
Yeah. Knowledge is fundamental.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're philosophizing.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But so that means that you would have, for again, lack of better terminology, a C that's called 1,000 things depending on where it is on the neck, right?
No, it would be called one thing depending on where it's on the neck. That's the thing.
So it does repeat then. So that pitch, the name of that pitch repeats.
I don't think you can bring that back up. It messes things up, huh, Jesse?
I might be able to work it out.
Let's see what happens.
They all have names.
I think there's probably something that I need to mute. All right. Echo time. Are you guys ready? Probably something that I need to mute. All right. Echo time. Are you guys ready? Probably something. There you are. Did that fix it?
What is it playing over?
It's playing us.
It's playing. Oh.
Okay, I got it.
We good? Echoing stopped. I can't get those black hole things to not be multi-directional. So if
there's one thing I know about black holes, they are multi.
I have a friend named Alex Urban who is worked. He's basically a rocket scientist. He's one of the smartest guys I know, and he coded a simulation to show what it would look like if you were in a black hole looking out.
Wow.
And it looks the same. So if you did get caught by a black hole, you'd never know. You wouldn't know that you crossed the event horizon.
That's new existential dread for me. There you go.
Yeah.
You would have no idea. You are the simulation. You are the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
I'll call the event horizon. We are the event horizon.
We are the event horizon.
You are the event horizon.
Wow. New dread every day, you know. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I'm like.
Oh yeah, all these names of notes.
Yeah.
So it is only one. So every Hijaz, in this case, note is that same note is Hijaz.
Yeah, and I think those are all frequencies, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But so you'd see it again somewhere down here.
No.
Okay, so that's okay. But if we're
do you see the column the just to the right of the names?
Yeah.
If you were to divide the octave into 53 steps,
Yeah.
That's each one of those steps would be a comma,
Okay.
and that's how many commas apart these notes are.
Right. But I'm still trying to get around the idea that like every single one of these notes is called something else, something different, or
I can make it really easy for you. It's movable do solfeggio.
got it. Okay. That makes sense.
That's all it took?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's seen me confused a lot, so
No, I've seen you not confused. I was
That's
Liz knows this cold.
yes.
All I have to do is tell her what.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's a weird. Well, movable solfege is a weird thing already on its own.
So there's an instrument called a ney. I could actually grab one from the other room. God, it's kind of like transposing saxophone, right? You pick your fingers up in order and it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Yeah.
You pick a different saxophone up and it's still C, D, E, F, G, B, C as you pick your fingers up in order. But that saxophone could be in a different key and different notes are coming out. Well, there's a ney in every half step, right? There's a ney in C and a ney in D, but you still call it Ras, Duga, Sega, Charga as you lift your fingers up, even though it's sounding different notes.
Yeah.
And similarly for oud, you can call positions on the oud. Larry, you'll have to keep me honest with this because I might be wrong about this one. There's positions on the oud called Ras, Duga, Sega, and regardless of if you're tuned up in Turkish or down in Arabic, you'd call those same positions. That's correct? Got it.
Yeah, and it still confuses me.
It's like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But that movable solfege makes sense as far as like that system anyway. Huh.
And it can be especially confusing if not everybody's using the same system.
Yeah, that sounds
Right.
awful.
Yeah.
That sounds real hard to do. It's kind of like if you're, sort of, not really, but maybe, I don't know. If you got, classically trained opera pianist meets like improvising jazz pianist, and the two of them are like, we both speak the same language, sort of, but it's sort of different. And then you want one to do the other thing, and they're like, I don't want to do that.
I can't do that.
I can't do that, no.
Where should we go from here? You said you had lots of notes of things to talk about. Is there anything?
I wanted to mention this about Sega.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
We were talking about
you're in
Sega.
Rost, and one of the modulations, one of the things for Tarkib in Rost. Remember, Tarkib is when you put things together. Well,
the combination, the composite.
Combination of things in order to be really introducing Rost. One of them is Sega, and Sega is just the third note of Rost, right? So if you think of Rost, remember Rost is kind of like that major scale, right? Little flat here, little flat there. So the third is flat. So in Sega, like Jesse's already knows, your one is a microtone.
You're starting off one. So if you modulate there, all your other notes are microtones.
Right? So here on your one, you're in Rost. Now you're in Sega. That's my emphasis. There's the 1, 1, 2, 3. So there's my 3. Sega, third place. That's going to be 1 comma flatter than you would have heard it before I was in Sega. Because Rost is this. But now it's...
Evan says Sega makes no sense to me. He said to him. But
It's got this... this is a perfect fifth now from here, right? From this.
Can I take a turn explaining
Yes.
Sega a little bit to try and see if I can get Evan to get it? So... if you have Rost, you've got 1, 2, 3 lowered by a comma, 4, 5, right? And it's basically the major scale, and 3 and 7 are lowered by a comma. Now let's forget about Macam for a second. Let's say we were in the major scale and we modulated to the 3 without changing key signatures. We'd be in Phrygian.
Phrygian.
So we're in C minor. Now we're in E Phrygian. Okay, now let's add Rost back in. What if that E, the E and the B are lowered by a comma? Now you're in Phrygian, starting a comma low, which means your minor 2 from Phrygian is now a comma high from our new root. And your minor 3rd from Phrygian is a comma high. And so that's E, F, G, A. Gosh, is your A comma high too? Your 4th? I don't know. But then your 5th is actually in tune because it was also a comma low.
It would
So
be
it's-
helpful to see that drawn, Jesse.
Oh, sure.
On the oud, it's really easy to see.
I get it, I
Right?
think, but I think that
Yeah.
the way he's explaining it would make sense to draw it out.
Yeah, no, that's great. Great idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have some.
Okay. So, this is the first time anyone's ever asked me for a diagram. I always feel like I'm torturing people with diagrams. Oh, wait.
It's the teacher problem.
No,
we want to write
diagrams are
stuff
good.
down, and everyone's like, "Don't write that down," and then they're like, "Why didn't you write that down?"
Okay. So, let's just talk in normal notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's C major. If we were to take a mode of it, E Phrygian, E, F, G, A, B, etc. Right? So this is C major, E Phrygian, right? That's all gravy. That's all European classical Western theory, right? But what happens when we're in Rost and we lower this E ever so slightly and this B ever so slightly to be microtones, right? So now you've got this 1, 2, low 3, 4, 5, 6, low 7, 8. But if you were to modulate to that low E and make it your root, right, and low B, right, from the perspective of that E, this E is a little low, which is actually going to make it feel like the F and the G are a little high. And I didn't ever think about it, but I think the A maybe too, but I'm not certain about that. But the 5th, that perfect 5th is maintained, right? Because both of those notes are a comma low in Rost.
Does this have anything to do with the because we're dividing the scale? I think that's a question. I don't know. If we're dividing the scale into more pieces, which means we get different pieces of that scale being more technically in tune than others, or is that different? And I'm on
tuned differently. Yeah, we've got Rost and we've got that E is tuned differently and that B is
I guess
tuned
yeah,
differently.
because we're using microtones, it doesn't quite work the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it might make sense if I do this. If I were to take this mode that we took and lined the E up with a normal E and B, you can see that our F and G and A are a little high. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you modulate to a quarter step is now home, which takes notes that weren't on the quarter steps before and
Wait, I
now
don't
puts them
understand what
on the
you-
quarter steps.
I don't understand what you mean by that. If we take the quarter step, you lost me there. Repeat
So-
that.
So you've got like C and it's on, the piano, and you've got D and it's on the piano, right? And you've got this E that's in between two piano keys. But if you modulate to that E and you call that E the root, you've now changed, like that is now a quote unquote normal note. And notes that used to be like on the half steps are now on the quarter steps.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
I think what threw me is we're not really at a quarter step here.
Oh, that's right.
Right, that's
We're
what-
only
yeah.
1 comma flat. It's not
so,
a quarter
so
step.
everything but shifted to 1 comma.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for keeping me honest. I was oversimplifying that microtone by just saying in between is a quarter step, but really that E is an E, but just flatted by a comma. The closest thing, if you're in 12 equal, would be a sixth of a half step, which is why canoons have 6 levers per half step, so that they can play in equal temper and then also have commas. Evan says, yeah, just thinking of it as a mode of Rost makes a lot of sense. And then you also have a D sharp in there. If you extend below the E, -1 comma, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm not quite sure. Can you make sense of that, Larry?
No.
Maybe that.
So the D sharp in there. If you extend below the E, 1 comma. An actual D sharp or a D
Evan,
one
you're
comma
saying
sharp?
it's hard to play in tune, but believe it or not, when you do that, that minor second, a comma high, is the justly tuned minor second. It makes a beautiful major third with 4, and that minor third is the justly tuned minor third that makes a beautiful major third with 5. So you'd think that it would be hard to tune and out of tune, but just get it in your ears, and it's just as beautiful as all the other ones. Should we see? But you were going to talk about Sega.
No, I was going to bring up the point that you brought up, that it's like Phrygian, and you latched onto it and understood where I was going to go. If you start on Sega and Rost and you're already down a little bit, you're tuned down, that it's going to affect where your other notes, where you're going to play them. Like you have to adjust your fingering a bit. And we're talking about a single comma here.
I wish that more people had transparencies at school now. I love using this when I teach, and like depending on how old the student is, it just makes less and less sense. But that's the idea, right? Is you write it out on literally just like what you did. Is you write it out on transparency and you pick it up and you move it around, and that's like you're using the same distance between notes.
Can you play us a little more Rost modulating to Sega?
Yeah, actually, I was looking at when I wrote some notes about Rost, because Rost you can go to Sega, right? And there's some little motifs with Sega. There's always a little leading tone. Then sometimes we'll go from that. This is Neva, by the way. And you can modulate with Neva, boost lick on it. That's Panjga. And there's a makam called Panjga. There's motifs on Panjga, but there's Panjga.
Oh, Evan just said the leading tone. That's the D sharp I was referring to.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yes, Evan. Thank you. That leading tone's beautiful.
That'll take it back to Ross. It's a little motif I showed earlier. That's just a little Ross thing. It's like, oh, I'm in Ross again. I'm in Sega. Sharga. Panjga. I went to Hija. jazz on Panjga and just said, "Ooh, that's weird."
Panchka, that tetrachord's like Lydian-ish, if I remember correctly.
On Panjga?
Yeah, that. I'm just going by memory, not by ears. Sorry.
Well, you can go up to Ross. Actually, on Nava, okay, I'm in Ross. Here's something you can do. I'm just thinking of different little sayers or modulations. From Nava. There's that descending, lowering this on the way up. I don't know. You can go to lots of different places. It's always, and not always, the fourth and the fifth are good places to modulate from. There's things that wouldn't sound good. We didn't, the time's flying. We didn't even talk about Hijaz. There's so many cool things. Like going from Hijaz into Sabah, into Husseini. Like there's, it's just such a big, big topic.
I'll make you a deal. Why don't we make this a series? You want to come back and do another one?
The fat giraffe has to be here the whole time.
That's okay.
Right.
He's got nowhere to be.
Who wants more Larry?
Everyone.
It was like, it helped me sleep. It solved my insomnia problem. More Larry.
I have a friend that told me one of our episodes, he started listening to it, and 7 minutes in, my voice put him to sleep.
This is the low sleepy Jesse voice. That's a different than
the soothing sound.
Yeah, of Jesse's voice. This
there's
is
definitely
our radio
a lot
station.
more to talk about.
Yeah, and I think
We just got started.
Yeah, I'm happy to keep going. I'm happy to have you guys play a song and then call it.
I think calling it soon would not be a bad idea.
Yeah, we've got more food to eat and more drink to drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and there's always more to talk about at more times during life.
Thanks for whoever was here.
Yeah, Larry, would you like to come back and do another one?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I suppose.
I don't know if you can ask him right now.
I'll get paid the same next time, right?
Yeah.
Sign me up, man.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weekly series, and I'm coming every night just for the,
Yeah.
All right. And you wanted to play a song. You kept. Do you want to play that song?
Yeah, we can play it later.
She wants
I
to
want to
play
play Trip to Pakistan, but I want to play it later because I'm still. I don't know how comfortable I am with myself playing it yet.
Okay.
I could play it fine.
You could. You should play it right now.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is good. It's a
You
fun
should play
song.
it.
It's a fun song. Next time.
Okay.
Next time we'll play.
Yeah.
Now you have to wait. You have to wait till next time.
Yeah,
for us
we'll
to play
give
it.
them a reason to come watch the next one.
There you go. Cool.
All right. Well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who's still here.
Come watch us again next time we do it. We'll let you know when that is. Hey.
Yeah. We love all of you so much.
And then it says bye.
Bye.
Come get on camera.
Okay, go poke
David.
the thing.
Say bye to David.
Say bye to David. There's David. He's over there.
Bye,
there he is.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah. Da-da-da. Hey.
Thank you everyone. Good night.